This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, is this an I got it by the way situation? Some of us may think so. It's the Karate Kid 2. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
The Karate Cabin.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, that's right. We are back to the grind after a month of stuff that came out last year. We're talking The Karate Kid 2 from 1986, directed by the late, great John Avildsen.
King.
Quick question, just around the horn. What do we think the movie The Karate Cabin would be, aside from actually Chris Cabin doing karate? Like, is it a cabin full of like karate heroes?
I feel it is much like a much derided movie, Beverly Hills Ninja, except for like on like low like 2000 grade DV, like really shitty digital video. Yeah, like just no money whatsoever.
So it's like the anniversary party, but with karate. Is
yes, exactly.
I was envisioning more of an Evil Dead scenario where there's like this one Necronomicon type of book that shows you the best karate moves, like Steals the Peach.
Oh,
I like it.
I like that. Yeah, not bad. Not bad, Eric.
I
I
think
like that.
Steals the peach,
Some
and then
karate
everything goes haywire.
Yeah, karate demons come out and like your dead girlfriend's doing karate against you.
Yeah, and then I have to steal peaches.
That all sounds great, actually. I was going to say, Steve, the anniversary party could have used some karate in it.
Absolutely.
Just going to toss that out there.
Alan Cumming just drop kicking Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Someone steals his peach, the whole thing. Yes. It'd be great. It's a big fucking karate fight for this anniversary party. Cabin, would you be making Karate Cabin on that low-grade 20-year-old DV in 2021, though?
Oh, yeah.
Thus guaranteeing your movie would look totally unwatchable to a modern eyeball.
Yeah. It has to be washed out as fuck. Like, I mean, just like no telling of color, just whiteness blaring through the screen. And like hard to look at is what I'm going for, really.
Whiteness blaring through the screen. Great segue to Ralph Macchio.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent. I got to say, I got beef with something here. Something like before I even pressed play on this movie. I rented this movie on Apple last night. It's the same thing. Same goes for Amazon. I don't know where else this might be featured. The poster art for this movie is absolutely atrocious.
What are we talking?
Really?
I mean, I think it might be because Amazon has.
Is it
different one?
Is it them in the black background and nothing's going on?
Because that's what the poster is, right? Like
yes.
The poster is the two of them, black background, and then like the title and the tagline and everything are sort of like in the middle, the bottom of the poster. It's clearly like we made this for streaming. Some fucking intern was doing terrible Photoshop. It's still the two of them, but like it just looks atrocious, just absolutely atrocious. And like I've been noticing that a lot more lately, and I've been having less and less patience for it. But Jesus Christ, these streaming platforms that are like, I guess for whatever reason you can't license the original poster art, so you got to have fucking Fred the intern make some garbage fake poster. This has to stop. We need legislation.
They want to make it look more exciting, and the original poster looks a little too arty. Let people know that this is a dumb karate movie.
Yeah, it looked so exciting. My only reaction to it was, wow, that looks like shit. And then I pressed play.
I guess because my Amazon rental, or it was for free on Amazon, whatever the fuck, my Amazon file started with this warning. We should start with it too. This film includes language and or cultural stereotypes that are inconsistent with today's standards of inclusion and tolerance and may offend some viewers.
Oh, boy.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
this podcast might offend some listeners.
Yeah. We should get one of those.
Are you triggered, Lib? Huh?
trigger.
Yeah, that's my new comedy special, No Warnings. I'm sick of these Amazon warnings. Are you?
Oh man, be sure to tune in to Crackle for my latest stand-up special, Danger Zone. You come to see me tell some bad jokes, you're in the fucking danger zone, pal.
My new comedy special, Karate Kid Part 2, is actually not racist. That's a special.
I mean, the biggest, most glaring thing is the John Kreese racial slur in the parking lot.
Right.
Sure,
But
that's not
To
great.
Mr. Miyagi.
To its credit, I do, but it's like he's a shithead character, you know.
I mean, he's the villain. It's
Yeah,
not like
no.
Bill and Ted using gay slurs. Like,
I mean,
John Kreese is the Valley's #1 scumbag.
To be fair, and you're right, and I don't mind like slurs by bad characters if it's in service of something maybe and blah blah blah. But I think that this movie warrants the warning just by the amount of gongs in the score alone. It's just like, you know what, dude?
Yeah.
You got 3 gongs. Let's put a fucking warning up here because this is ridiculous.
No, actually, we are. Hi, this is John Avildsen. Hi, everybody. How you doing? We actually went through 2,000 gongs, recording all the music for this movie. We went through 2,000 of them. 2,000, and you know what? Those get billed to you. You know, you have to put those down on paper, and you know that's you wonder why movies are so expensive.
I love the song 2,000 Gongs by 10,000 Maniacs.
That's a math problem.
Wow, that's an old song. It's from Gong Ago.
Oh, man. Yeah, but, you know, I mean, gongs in general, just get them out of my face. They're loud. I don't know.
I will say one thing about the music in this movie. The fucking Glory of Love song fucking rules.
Oh,
It does.
Yes.
absolutely. Old, what's his face? Peter Cetera, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fuck yeah, dude.
And maybe there's a question for the end, but I mean, like, so if we're doing checks and balances, is that a better song than You're the Best Around from the first film?
I kind of think
Yes.
so.
Yeah. I mean, I
Firmly,
think
yes.
they're both great. The first one, the song from the first one's more like kitschy. This is one you could play anywhere, dudes.
Dude, you can play that at your wedding, and your wife would
Absolutely.
cry.
That's exactly right. You can't be playing You're the Best Around at weddings. You look like a total asshole.
Honey, can we dance our first dance to Peter Cetera? Oh, I'm divorced.
You guys were there. I actually did play that song in my wedding. You're the best around.
That's true. Nothing's
Yeah.
ever gonna
It
bring
wasn't.
down.
But it wasn't the first dance for you and your wife, was it?
I think it was us coming out.
I think it was the coming out. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's
So-
totally
But,
fine.
but you guys were invited to an asshole wedding. You knew what you were getting into.
I had a great time at your wedding, by the way. I got fucking super drunk.
Wasn't your first dance to What Does the Fox Say?
This is
that was my first dance with Eric's brother at the wedding. It was me and Eric's brother fucking got down to that song hardcore.
And that
Man,
was-
yeah, the year
yeah.
of What Does the Fox Say?
It was a long time. It was Gong Ago, actually.
It was gone.
Jesus.
That should not make me giggle as much as it does, but I don't know. It just does. I'm sorry, I can't. I love that this movie really starts out with a solid as previously on The Karate Kid.
It's
It's-
crazy.
In such a way though, where like I'm not pissed off by the previously on. It's like almost as if you get everything you kind of need out of The Karate Kid from this previously on.
It's a little. I feel like they go through it a little too much. I could have just gone with the just recapping the end of the tournament, since this movie starts right where that movie ends.
Yes. I was just going to say, I didn't need this shower scene with Ralph Macchio, though. I don't know, Miyagi. Maybe you shouldn't be hanging out there, dude, like right in the locker room.
Oh
like
my
that.
God. What I love about this scene with Miyagi is he's like insistent they get to the restaurant already. Like Miyagi is hungry, his blood sugar is low.
Hey, kid, we got to get going. I know you won the tournament and everything, but I'm fucking starving. I need some breadsticks.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I love the because there apparently, at least IMDb says this. I always heard that this was footage for the original ending to The Karate Kid, but apparently it was in the script, never filmed specifically for part 2. So
theoretically,
this script is open a boy's shower. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
but I mean, conversely, the film originally, the first one may have ended with a boy's shower. close, roll credits. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of great that the last thing I see in the Karate Kid is not Ralph Macchio's nipples.
Hey, Mr. Miyagi, are you right outside the shower like you always are?
Oh yeah, I'm in here.
Hey, great. Oh, good. Okay, I'm just gonna shower myself. I hope. Can you talk to me while I shower?
And a quick note for the audience: we are doing a Peter Falk impression for Mr. Miyagi, continuing the tradition from our live episode on Karate Kid Part 1. Just an FYI.
That's right. That's right.
And I do love because he's like, "Oh man, Mr. Miyagi, I did pretty fucking good at that goddamn tournament over there. Can you believe it? What do you think my next thing should be?" And he's like, "How about retiring, kid?" Which makes all the sense in the world because Miyagi is A, sick of it, and B, knows this kid is lucky to be alive. He's like, "I don't know about you. I think you about to get your fucking teeth kicked in there, kid."
Yeah, listen, kid. I got something to tell you. Is I lied on signing the waivers, and had you died, I would have been really screwed. So,
to be honest, you lost me a lot of money today.
Your mentor's not supposed to say this, but you got lucky, buddy. You got lucky. Walk away.
You were like one pube hair away from getting your fucking neck broke, kid.
Yeah, did you see the other guy you were fighting? You look like Chuck Norris without a beard. I mean, like, you're lucky. You're a little shrimp. You beat him up.
And did you see that crease fella? He looks like an erect penis all the time.
By the way, that kick is fake. I made that up. I can't believe you did that in public. It was a joke between me and my buddies. I'm like, look, I want to do a little shit kick, and it worked. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
At the same time, kid, I will say, because you was stupid enough to actually do that move, you actually just won me another $200. One of my buddies bet me $200 you wouldn't be stupid enough to do that fake kick. But you were stupid enough to do it, kid. Another $200. I will not give you a single cut of it.
And that is now a full-on fracture. I hope you know that, kid. That ankle isn't going nowhere.
Yeah,
dude, that
job.
is a crazy thing. He's fucking running around. He's like walking out of the parking lot. He's carrying this trophy. He's signing autographs. Get this kid a cane or a crutch or something.
Yeah. I'll do that after he runs down and gets me the sports section. Late edition.
It is because he's in the shower. He's like, I can't believe. Oh my god. The next thing is like, how about retiring? The girls are waiting for us. Elizabeth Shue, not in this film. Your mother, not in this film, are waiting for us at the restaurant. So let's get a move on. He does have a little fucking fire in his foot to get to this fucking restaurant. Man. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's true. And yeah, the passing line here is because in real life, Elizabeth Shue went back to Harvard and continued studying before she picked up acting. So she was out of the movie. But poor Mrs. LaRusso, man, not even a Die Hard with a Vengeance-esque fucking phone call. This woman is just erased.
That's a bet I would have lost, by the way. I would have thought that she does have that in this film, but she does not.
That's so funny, dude. Uh-oh. Mandela effect. I had that same thought, Steve. I was like, well, when is it that she calls them in Japan? Like, I had a memory of like him like getting a phone call from mom in Japan. I don't know.
It is very weird, the scenario that we're presented with. Again, I mean, we talked about the weird relationship between this sensei and student, but it is accentuated in this where he's just living with Miyagi now. He's going to live with him for the summer. The parents are gone. We don't have to deal with that shitty kid anymore. I don't know what Miyagi's doing with him, but it's working, I guess.
Well, the dad is dead, and the mom, weren't we saying something in the first movie? It kind of sounds like she's like being tricked into joining a cult. Like she's talking about whatever business thing she's doing, and it's like kind of pyramid schemey, like culty. And then in this movie, it's like, geez, Mr. Miyagi, my mom's got to go up to Fresno for the summer for some workshop. And I'm like, she's really accelerating in that cult.
It has a Synanon feeling for sure. And I think that's what this Fresno trip is. I think that's what the whole summer is going to be for Daniel. I think Daniel's going to be brought into it.
Come on, Mr. Miyagi. I can't go to Fresno. I don't want to be on level fucking 2 already. Jeez. Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, Mr. Miyagi, they're going to make me get there in Fresno. I'm going to have to put my hands on those 2 cans. And then they're going to do that test where they're going to figure out how much electricity's in my body or whatever.
Oh, geez, Mr. Miyagi, what they're going to make me do? I'm going to sit in a chair. They're just going to yell at me for 5 hours straight.
I'm sick of being broken down, Mr. Miyagi. Oh, whoa, Mr. Miyagi. We cannot miss the absolute disgrace and best scene of John Kreese. It is
Oh,
well. First of all, my favorite characters in this entire movie. They're walking out. They come on. We gotta get to the restaurant. They get intercepted by the referee and
so
the
good.
announcer, and they're just like,
Oh.
"Kid, you've got whatever it is. You've got it. You are the Karate Kid."
I love
and
the
I fucking
dude.
love it.
The referee says you showed poise.
the other guy who there's the dude. I don't know if he's like the master of ceremonies or what. He looks like Biff Tannen, like
Yes.
1985, like beer gut Biff Tannen. Like they're talking shit about John Kreese because they're like observing him being abusive in the parking lot to William Zabka, and he's like, that guy just doesn't know what karate's all about. One of the best lines in the movie.
Listen, kid, you've got what I call star quality. Now, what I got a low grade of digital video setup for you. I want you to be my star fucking quarterback. I'm going to make action pictures, comedies, romantic
Whoa.
situations.
Hang on a second there, kid. Let me negotiate. Yeah, I need 10%. That's my kid. I trained him. I taught him everything he knows.
No problem with that. Anyway, does he do kids fair as well?
Clink, 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 clink,
Yeah.
clink. Because that's what I mean. Like, yeah, I mean, like, these like hangers. I'm like, it's one thing. Like, he's like, oh, you know, but he's like, oh man, I can't wait to see your next performance. Like, you guys, you're in your 40s. Stop caring about this little Karate Kid tournament.
You know, it's always the hardest part of the year. The day when it's the longest amount of time before the next All Valley Karate Tournament.
Man, those people. It's sad, but at the same time, you know, they're the ones putting it on. And Daniel here is getting the word out, like this crazed illegal movie did. Is the word is on the street. The next All Valley is going to be even better.
I think this dude is like, he's seeing dollar signs, man. He's like, this kid is going to transform the Southern California karate industry. Absolutely.
Because that's the thing, is the ref is going to go out and be like, listen, I let you go with that illegal kick, so you've got to do a couple more tournaments. You got to do some appearances, open some laundromats for me, kind of a thing.
You got to play the game with the karate industrial complex.
I got 3 words for you, buddy. Poster photo shoots for you,
Hey,
Mr. LaRusso.
It must be, I, for whatever reason, decided to look up the referee, Pat E. Johnson. He's still with us, born in Niagara Falls.
That's cool.
But it says that he's in Karate Kid Part 3 as the referee. It has to be flashback footage again, right?
I think he's coming back.
Yeah.
Is
Karate's
he?
bad boy Mike Barnes. Yeah.
Oh,
He's a part of the
fuck.
original trilogy, dude.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
incredible.
It's all paying off here. You see this? This is the 3rd time I've seen this kid here, and he's just walked the floor with everybody. We're going to take this kid to the stars, and by that I mean, you know, video on demand and pay-per-view.
Hey, holy shit. How about this? I looked up the guy who's the announcer. So the guy who doesn't know what karate's all about, this dude, Bruce Malmuth, passed away some 15 years ago at this point. Interesting little trivia factoid about this dude. He fucking directed Hard to Kill.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. That's
The
cool.
announcer from Karate Kid's All Valley Karate Tournament directed Steven Seagal in Hard to Kill.
That's a
great-
renaissance man.
It's good. It's one of his best movies.
It might be his best movie. I don't know. Putting
Previous
that out there.
episode as well.
So Kreese, they're trying to get to their car, and Kreese is yelling at a kid in the parking lot. This is something, you know what I mean? Like, you do it the next day at the school. You want to cut him from the class or whatever. You do it right in the parking lot. He's like, "You're off the team. You're a loser." And you know, Johnny William Zabka, you know, he's humble. He's like, "You know, I did my best." He's like, "Your best," and he breaks his trophy in the parking
Dude.
lot.
It's awesome.
To pieces. He destroys this trophy.
Where are William Zabka's parents? They would have to come. It's his big karate thing, right? Like they would come to this thing.
I
you
don't
would think.
I think he's got a troubled home life. I think they get into that in that Cobra Kai show too.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
so
must
I
be like that's. He turns to the Cobra Kai as like a outlet because he's got potentially, like a bad family life or something. You're saying?
Yes, I believe they established that like Kreese is kind of his father figure in this whole scenario. Maybe that's
man.
a retcon, you know. But
And then he goes to karate, finds this piece of shit. That's sad.
yeah,
Poor William Zabka. Shit.
yeah. He's great, by the way. He's great on that show.
I can't wait to start watching it, dude. I love Zabka so much. I love that they got the gang back together because there's some other Cobra Kais floating around here who are from the first movie, including my absolute favorite Cobra Kai, Body Bag Kid.
Oh yeah, you better get a body bag.
He's dead, dude. Body Bag is dead.
Wait, so he got a body bag.
Body Bag Kid died in real life?
I believe he died pretty recently.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, I'm not going to make fun of him or anything. I'm just saying, like, I guess calling him Body Bag Kid is a little bad. But
I mean, it's a popular line.
It's one of my favorite parts of that movie because he says it, and then every time they cut back to him, he's so fucking pleased with that body bag line. He's got a huge smile on his face. But in this movie, he's one of the guys who stands up for Johnny, and he's like, hey, John Kreese, maybe we shouldn't fucking, do this. And he gets slapped in the face by Kreese.
I mean, there's also this guy, they bring it out, like the audience is cheering, there's all this noise going on, and you can hear it, they bring it to the fore, some guy saying, hey, Johnny, you a cream puff?
Oh, yes, that's right.
And it's like blaring off the speakers when it happens.
That's from the first movie. Somewhere, some 40-year-old guy is drunk and homophobically screaming at a karate tournament.
Awesome. Hey, dude, it would not be the All Valley if it were not filled with drunken slurs being thrown from the crowd.
And so Miyagi's got to be like, hey, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, someone needs to be
I'm just gonna say this. You broke that one trophy on that kid, and then you just definitely slapped the other kid in the face. Not cool, man.
Now you're making my dinner cold.
You're choking a kid in a parking lot. Listen, let's all just take a breath and stop choking kids in parking lots.
And I get it.
And you probably had a very stressful few days. I understand it. It's a big day for you today. But maybe you just put your arm off of the child.
Yeah,
of the child.
You think I haven't wanted to strangle some kids? Come on. Come on. I know how you feel. Come on here.
Have you heard this kid talk? Have you heard him talk?
Look at him. Just look at him. He's way over there. You see him? Look how fucking annoying he looks. Don't you want to strangle him right now? I want to strangle him right now.
That little booger right there. Yeah, he's picking his nose.
like a broken boat motor. That's what I'm hanging out with all day long, just yammering on.
But the problem is, see, we're in public. See, we're in a parking lot. There's a lot of people around. Go beat the shit out of him at home.
That's at 5 to 10. Easy.
But he does get involved, of course, because he's Mr. Miyagi and he's the fucking hero of this franchise. And he goes up and he's like, hey, man, maybe you don't do that. And fucking Kreese is right in with the slurs. Beat it, slur, or you're next. And man, if there was ever a test of Mr. Miyagi trying to, use his powers for good over evil, you can just, the look that Pat Morita is giving this motherfucker is incredible. He's staring right through his skull.
And then this is like, he's like, what are you trying? What is it? Does he do it? Why did you pick on somebody your own size or no? Or how does he start to punch him is my question.
Well, because John Kreese is an unhinged lunatic.
Got it. Okay.
I think it's just like, I think it's really just him saying like, maybe you shouldn't be hitting kids or like whatever it is. And then like Kreese just turns around and is like, oh, it's you again. And goes for this first one, and Miyagi does a great, like, just move out of the way. And Kreese punching through these car windows. Oof.
That's insane. What now? I guess that's he's such a strong guy. It's not that he's on PCP, but to be able to go through car windows is pretty amazing.
Well, I think he might be on PCP, dude, because he doesn't seem to be truly affected by the pain of the glass that's sticking out of his fists.
He's been in a fugue state ever since you lost that fucking trophy, and that's the sad truth of it. It's just like he is just like not even hearing things properly. He's seeing colors, man.
It's a fugue state, man. It's a total fugue state. Yeah, that's what he's going to tell the judge, Kevin.
Yeah, that's right.
You're right. I mean, like, because again, I'm not a big fan of jail or carceral punishment at all. But like, guess what? This dude needs to cool a couple of days in the clink, because you cannot be choking other people's children.
I love that you preface that with I'm not a fan of jail. That's necessarily. I mean, the early work is good.
Listen, why don't we just relax? Why don't we just relax and call the police? How about we do that? okay, and take your arm off the child.
But yeah, he goes through
yeah.
both windows, and then Miyagi gets him down, and he looks like he's about to push his nose into his brain, which will kill him. But
Oh,
then
sure.
he honks it, and it's a wonderful moment.
It's fucking great, dude.
It is wonderful, but I mean, it is so much worse for Kreese.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Forever, like he so much would rather die right here. I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
than go through
Well, he was
whatever.
He was bested by a fucking tiny elderly man. Of course he's pissed off even
Mm-hmm.
further. This
Also,
is humiliating.
dying in the 80s in a karate fight is like the pinnacle, man, because then people could talk, oh, what happened to grandpa? Oh, well, he died in a karate fight. You know, you're going to be a topic of conversation forever.
I mean, you would have to
Absolutely.
leave. You would have to leave town immediately. If I'm William Kreese, I'm like going across the country. Like, how about New Jersey? That sounds like a nice William Kreese #2 state.
Oh, I can tell you all sorts of stuff about New Jersey. What do you want to know about it, Mr. Kreese? I love talking Jersey. I love it.
It would be great if he went to New Jersey and everyone hated LaRusso as much as he did. And he goes to like the Palisades, and everyone's like, "Oh, you met LaRusso? I can't believe it, bro."
Oh, oh my God! I found my people. All the LaRusso haters are here. Yes.
Oh, that'd be great, dude. And then John Kreese becomes like mayor of some town in New Jersey. I would love that.
He,
We've
he
got
finally,
one rule: no LaRussos.
he finally chills out. This is what does it. Is finding
but-
other people that hate fucking Daniel LaRusso. is
He
what
chills
does.
out, Chris, but then when LaRusso comes to town in a giant karate tournament, he's traveling the circuit now. Him as mayor has to use the resources of the government to stop LaRusso.
Yes.
Dude, this is an excellent movie. I mean, I know people like
It is.
Cobra. I know people like Cobra Kai, and I'm sure it's wonderful. This is better.
This is better, dude, because it would be like Kreese trying to call in the National Guard against Daniel LaRusso. I fucking love it.
And he's
Kid,
just-
I own the karate.
Kreese, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just judging the competition. No, you're in competition. I know it. No, I'm just judging. Yeah, kill him. That's what I said. Kill LaRusso.
I think also part of it too, with the rage that Kreese is feeling here. You know, you're humiliated because like this dude made you punch through 2 car windows and then brought you to your knees fairly easily. But the fucking honk, man, that honk is humiliating.
Well, I think the honk is what sets into the events of Karate Kid Part 3. I think nothing else would have happened if, you know, he just, you know, hey, man, it was my fault. I punched through the windows. I'm going to have to pay for it. I got to go to the hospital.
Well-
but he honked my nose. So now Karate Kid Part 3 has to happen.
But what you know what's gonna happen is like he's just walking down the street drinking like his like smoothie one day, and some guy comes by honking his horn. He's like, "Just like your nose, right? Ha, ha, ha. Just
Oh, man.
you having a good day there, Grace? Ha, 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 ha." And like that is the entire town for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's clown kai karate now for John Kreese.
I mean, you got to leave the valley, dude. You just do. You got to
Yeah.
fucking close up shop.
You got to
You
go to
cannot
North.
stay in Southern California.
You got to go NorCal at least. You're in San Francisco. Go to Petaluma, something, you know, somewhere else.
Miyagi has a good line though, because LaRusso is like, "Hey, Mr. Miyagi, why don't you fucking take his life right in front of all of our eyes?" And Miyagi says something about like a person living with hate in their heart is a punishment worse than death or something like that. Like there are some fucking stellar lines that Mr. Miyagi has in this movie, and that's kind of one of them. And that it sets off. We get 6 months later, and it cut back to Mr. Miyagi sitting at his house. He's still trying to catch that fly with the chopsticks. Love it.
Here's my question: is this the same headband? Are we trading on? Because he's wearing the headband, which he gives to Daniel in the first movie, or does he have like a drawer full of these things?
I told him it was a special one, but I really got a drawer full of it.
Yeah, I think it's Marge Simpson's dress.
Exactly. Yeah, like, but he definitely was like, "Oh yeah, Daniel-san, don't worry about it, dude. It's like this rare thing. It's very special to me." And then like as soon as Daniel left that night, Miyagi like ran to his bedroom and opened a drawer and put another one on. Like, oh, I felt naked without this.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's just like he uses that as underwear, as washcloths.
For
They're
sure.
everywhere.
So Daniel LaRusso drives up in this broken down like buggy, and like he apparently Elizabeth Shue broke up with him like at a dance.
At
That's
the prom, dude.
Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
Not only
Jesus.
that, at the prom, and she got with a UCLA football player who she's now in love with, and that's like, oh, you think karate's on top of the world, but it's really football.
This is like the ultimate humiliation. Like John Kreese thought he had it bad, but this is he gets dumped at the prom because Elizabeth Shue is dating a college guy, and then also it's not just some junked up car cabin. Fucking LaRusso says that she crashed the car also.
This is interesting. And the car was given to him by Miyagi in the first movie, and it's a cherished item or whatever.
One of his Jay Leno cars.
This theory that he proposes of like, oh yeah, she crashed the car and it messed up the engine and this like part of the fender or in the headlight or whatever. I'm thinking he actually killed her.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel-san. Yeah, that's all very plausible, except for one thing, fella. Looking at that bumper there, and is that blood? I think I see some blood.
Oh, well,
Did you run
also,
her down?
I hit a deer.
Well, this is why he wants to get out of the country immediately.
You're right, dude.
Daniel-san, what's with all these shovels and soil? Seems a little suspicious.
Well, here's the thing. And this whole Elizabeth Shue thing is a real fuck you on your way out of the franchise situation. Like, she clearly said, I didn't want to do it. I think she went back to college, actually back to Harvard, instead of doing this movie or whatever. And I think it's the screenwriter was like, all right, you know what, to do the movie. So here she comes. She lost all her teeth, shit her pants at the prom, cheated on Daniel, and like whatever else.
I like this.
And then after all that, went out and crashed his car on purpose just to fuck him over.
Maybe he was trying to end it all, dude.
That
Maybe he
could be.
fucking drove that off a cliff. He was that upset over losing Elizabeth Shue to a college guy.
I would
Could be. Or maybe she got pissed off because he was like, yeah, it's the prom, but it's like a costume prom. And then like she came to the prom wearing that fucking shower costume that he had.
Oh, look,
and then she was humiliated.
Look, Daniel-san, we got to get you out of the country. You can't. That is the most terrible story I ever heard.
Here's the question, though. Here's the real question. Was it we had the prom and then she broke up with him, or was it hey, Daniel, so I got to tell you about Gary, and by the way, I'm still cool to go with to the prom
one
with
of those
you,
things, yeah.
But just letting you know, come September, I'm going to be hanging out with this dude a lot more. Whatever.
I think I'm going for maximum heartbreak. I'm thinking like Endless Love comes on at the thing, and like he goes like, this song makes me think about you a lot, and then she drops it right there. UCLA fella and me have been banging day and night. Love him to death. Goodbye, sir.
Oh man.
So he also lets, because this is a whole monologue, Ralph Macchio monologue. Jeez, Mr. Miyagi went to the prom. He can't even believe what happened at the prom. Yeah, Mr. Miyagi, oh my God, he does this whole thing, and then like he's also like, and I can't believe my mom's going to Fresno and this, that, and the other thing. And he's like, hey Daniel, why don't I show you this new trick? It's called fucking making me a shed. You know what I mean?
Yes, we're back at the do my fucking dishes dojo. I love it.
Because he's like, oh yeah. Oh, you're really stressed right now, huh? How about you do the Zen art of fucking hammering nails, motherfucker?
Yeah, why don't you build me another fucking house, huh?
Yeah, dude, the fucking ancient karate tradition of put a fucking addition on my house.
Yeah, maybe the Amish were. Maybe the Amish were onto something. Maybe you work shit out by building a goddamn house.
Yes. Oh, Amish karate. Yes, please. This is a movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie. Amish karate.
Now, what is the situation in Amish karate? Is it an Amish guy that finds a new lust for life at a karate dojo, or is it like a karate master pulls a like Nicolas Cage and Con Air, accidentally murders someone in a parking lot with karate, and then he has to go be an Amish guy,
like a witness protection thing? I was
something like that,
like Witness.
Kind of, Witness for sure. The good movie, by the way.
Very good movie.
Oh yeah.
Let's say an Amish kid goes on Rumspringa to Japan, and then comes back with this forbidden karate knowledge.
Mm.
And then
That's right.
suddenly that barns the dojo. Oh, the old beardy doesn't like it. Well, now we're tap dancing on his face, and they overthrow Amish society in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
I like it.
And it becomes a karate farm.
Ooh, the 8-diagram barn builder.
Dude, the dude tries the ice cream in his face. Some like fucking Lancaster loudmouth. Not with this dude. He's gonna kick him through a barn, man.
Yeah. And a lot of exposed bones, like that kind of karate, like
Exactly.
snapping femurs and shit.
I like that.
So
Anyway.
he's in the midst of all this, like, but he's, Miyagi teaches him how to hammer in nails, and like it does calm him down, and he's like, he does a good job, and he's like, I can't believe I have to spend the summer in Fresno, and Miyagi's like, no, you idiot, I'm making you build me a guest house so you can stay there the entire summer. I also talked to your mom.
What is going on for real? Like, now you're living with him. You guys are inseparable.
First things first, dude. That was his senior prom. We're talking 18 plus on fucking on Daniel's son. So everything's on the table.
All right, that's fine. All right.
I don't think Miyagi's making a move, man. I think he's just lonely.
Yeah. He seems comfortable in his solitude as well.
The problem is, see, Mr. Miyagi is a genuinely sweet, caring soul.
Sure.
And we're awful people.
Yeah, there's that.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I think it's very simple. He sees like, look, Daniel, son, I saw your mother. She's giving away all your possessions to whatever that Fresno company is. And, she's going to live in some hut out there. I don't know what's going on out there, but I think you should stay here.
Oh, that's a good point. It's a total safety net.
Yeah, come on.
And in the clumsiest bit of writing, the movie really starts when a mailman delivers a letter, and it's
Dude,
just like,
this kind of stinks. Yeah.
If there's a Miyagi standing here at this time, this place,
Are
Give him-
you Mr. Miyagi?
someone from 1890 is writing you a letter.
Andy Griffith's song starts playing.
Which 1890s when his dad should have actually died too. This is
See-
crazy.
dude, this guy
It's
should be
shocking.
200 years old, is my question. You get the letter that his dad is sick from Okinawa. This mailman, by the way, goes on, and I guess, I don't know if this is like ad-libbed or we're just trying to make something happen in this scene. The guy's like, wow, you got a great house. It's an amazing house you got here. Like, oh, thank you so much. But he's already like, kind of devastated by this letter. And he's like, mind if I bring my wife here one time? They took a look at your house. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, and the problem is the guy starts it with a total backhanded compliment too, because he's like, wow, it looks so good back here. You definitely can't tell from the front of the house. Wow, what a fucking dump.
Yeah, every Saturday night I take my wife out to look at Japanese people and how they live. Hey, look, honey, look, it's a real Japanese. She's going to eat. Oh, wow, he's eating food. Oh, wow. That's insane. That's incredible, honey.
I don't know if it's the people so much, it's the garden, but maybe.
I know.
don't know.
I'm just saying it's a bit weird.
This dude does have one of the greatest fucking pieces of mailman accoutrement of all time. I don't know who decided this, but the mailman standard issue, it's hot out safari hat.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah, I know it's a real thing, but why?
Pith helmet.
It's just weird. It's a weird thing that mail carriers wear those sometimes.
Well, it's an offshoot of the government. The governments love their little uniforms. and-
yeah, I guess that's true.
Oh, you wonder about my
is,
hat?
You're wondering about my hat.
Yeah, it's just. I'm sorry. Yeah, my hat's fine. It's just to protect me from in case there's a falling coconut.
Me and my wife could come by later with the hat and we could talk about it.
I mean, the other question here too is like, is Miyagi's mailbox broken? What the hell is this guy doing traipsing through the backyard in the first place?
It's a
That's a
great
good
question.
question,
Maybe it's certified and he has to get a. He has to
Oh,
sign
is there a
for it.
signature situation?
But even still, dude, do you not ask if you can come by my house to look at it, you weird ass fucking creep?
And what's worse though, dude, is this guy doesn't take their awkward silence for no.
Yes.
And he's like, because like Miyagi, he clearly sees that it's from Okinawa, and he's like, oh fuck, and starts walking away, totally ignoring this guy. Totally fine move. And LaRusso's kind of hanging back, and the guy says that thing about like maybe we can come by. A dead silence, and the guy goes, huh, well, maybe another time then. Like, just leave. Don't try to leave the door open for a maybe another time response.
Let me ask you something. Do you sell any photos or postcards of your house or your backyard? Because
or
my
your
wife would
students?
absolutely love this.
You sell any photos of your students at all?
What time does he do the real karate? You know what I mean? Because we'll come by then.
But Miyagi's, I think his intention here is like doing the hard labor of putting up the this wall will get his mind off of things.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not
Is
necessarily.
he supposed to be
karate,
sleeping
right?
out there though?
I don't think immediately. I think he curls up at the foot of Miyagi's bed until the little guest house is done.
Well, also,
He's kicking his leg while he sleeps.
but is Mr. Miyagi like telling him like how to build the house, or is he just like, yeah, just start nailing things?
Just
Let's
nailing
just start
things.
nailing things.
It's,
Okay.
it's California. We don't need insulation or anything, so it's fine.
One
Yeah.
thing that also happens in this very busy scene is Macchio's like, "Oh, geez, Mr. Miyagi, I actually I made a special stand for your medals. It's going to be great. You can display them." And he's like, "Could you stop playing with my Medal of Honor, please? Could you? Is it possible for you to stop playing with it?"
Because it's a
yeah.
thing where he's like, it is fucking really hard for me to talk about all that and
Yes.
think about all that, dude. Maybe I don't want to display that to every fucking mailman that walks through my house.
Miyagi's got a decent line there when he's like, no, right here in the heart. Yeah, in the heart, kid. That's what says you're brave. This, for my time in the service, that just says I'm lucky.
Yeah, these are just a couple of little trinkets. It's all about what's in your heart. You don't need no trinkets, kid.
Yeah, why don't you frame my ear necklace?
Oh, man.
Hey,
Were we taking those in World War II also?
We were taking them everywhere, dude. We are an atrocity maker.
Hey, kid, quick question. Since we're having fun displaying things, you got your father's ashes anywhere? Yeah, I'll go rummage around your closet, find your most painful and personal things, and put them out on display. That's what we do,
Oh,
I
wait.
guess.
What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Having to look at your father's ashes every day would break your heart repeatedly? Oh, got it. Okay.
Well, just let me
Wake up, Daniel.
Can I smell your dead father's ashes? Could I smell them? Could I get them in my nostrils a little bit?
So
He's
he's like,
smelling those medals?
A little. I mean, like he gets them close to his face.
so basically,
Mr.
Miyagi's
Miyagi, you
like,
don't have your glasses on.
I got the one bad eye.
Oh, man.
Miyagi's like, I'm gonna go to Japan. I got to take care of this. My father's sick. I guess I can't have you for the summer. Blah blah blah. And I think he's supposed to see him off in the morning, but Daniel's not there. He's kind of disappointed. The cab driver's like, "We're gonna be late," and I'm like, "All right, dude, relax." But so they go to
He
the
says
airport.
something like, "You're cutting it close, buddy," or something like that.
He gets to the airport, and Ralph Macchio accosts this man at a fucking terminal at the airport, like
At the plane. At
on
the
the
fucking plane.
at the gate, dude. He's like, can I come to Japan? My mom said it was okay. And it's like, now you're putting me in a real fucking spot. You already bought the ticket, which you definitely should not have done.
There's this word. There's a word for this, Miyagi. It's called ambush.
You spent your college tuition to come with me to see my dying father. It's just such a fucking weird thing.
It is such a
It is. I mean, it's very weird. I mean, he's trying to pay it back, right? He's like, Mr. Miyagi, you've always been there for me. Now, like, your dad's dying, and I want to be there for you. Because Miyagi gives him the whole backstory of how he, a lot of people see it as like he fled Okinawa in disgrace, and he tells them all about like the fucking, he was in love, but then she had an arranged marriage with his best buddy Sato, and it's like a whole douche chill situation. So like he's trying to be there for him, but at the same time, it's like when you have that information of like how awkward it is going to be for this man to return home to this town, like why would you want to see that? I would not be able to look at any of that, dude. It's way too uncomfortable.
Daniel, son, just go back and nail the house, okay? That's all you got to do. Just keep on nailing the house.
and also like, it's not like, oh man, Mr. Miyagi, can I please come with you? I just want to be there as an emotional support. You won't know I'm there until you need me, and I'll be there to talk to you and get you through this really tough stuff. It's like, oh man, I never been to Japan. Oh wow, that's a lot of rice we're eating over here. Holy crap, you got to take your shoes off in the place. Oh my gosh, wow, the water's over there. It would never stop, and it's like, no, we're not having a play date in Japan. My father is sick.
I
Next
got
time.
a major vibe that Miyagi really didn't want him to come.
Absolutely.
He kept on
I
saying,
think you're
what
right.
about this? What about that? Like, come
He tries. You're totally right, Eric. He tries every which way to convince this kid not to go. And the thing that's like, it doesn't work about Daniel running up at the airplane like this, like on the fucking jetway, like at the door of the airplane, like we're beyond the gate at this point. Like, it doesn't make sense because in the previous scene, you see Daniel like get the idea in his head, right? Because he's like, all right, Mr. Miyagi, I totally understand. You know, you got to go see your father. I totally get it. Mr. Miyagi. I get it. I'm going to go to Fresno. My mom's in a cult, whatever. And then he stops. Like, he says goodbye to him, and then he stops. They have Ralph Macchio turn around and literally walk back into the house. And then it cuts to the next morning with Mr. Miyagi in the driveway. That is the moment, LaRusso. That's the moment to be
exactly.
like, hey, Mr. Miyagi, I just came up with this idea. How about we go together? I'll be there for you. Not this ambush, because it is an ambush, man. Like, and it's so uncomfortable.
But he knows. I mean, like, he knows Mr. Miyagi's going to say yes, because Mr. Miyagi is a good person, and it's gonna, if it's between this idiot coming with him to go see his dying father and going and brushing Lancaster Dodd's teeth for a summer, like, he's going to take him to fucking Japan. He's going to do it.
And they go, and immediately on the plane, Miyagi is just like, I just want to get some sleep. A, I've got some grief depression brewing. B, I didn't get good sleep last night because I got drunk. And C, could you shut the fuck up, please?
Here's a couple. You're right. Couple things about this. First of all, Daniel with this last minute ticket purchase. I need you, John Avildsen. You should have done this, dude. I'm telling you this now from beyond the grave. You need that 2-second thing of Daniel going up to whomever was slated to sit next to Mr. Miyagi and going, hey, I was like a last minute decided to come on this trip with my friend here. Do you mind if we switch seats? Because there's no way he just has this seat next to Miyagi.
Well, you know what? Jerry Weintraub produced this movie. He loves being in his movies. He should have just been this guy.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, have him do that.
Yeah.
He loved doing that shit. You should have done it.
It's one of those dumb things where it's like, yeah, you want to show them on the plane together, but like, no fucking way he just scored the seat next to Miyagi like that. No way. And let this man take a nap.
The only thing I could think of is like maybe there aren't many people going to Okinawa or something. But yeah, I don't know what this. I don't know what the path is. I would assume maybe they would have to get a second flight in Tokyo or something. I don't know if we have direct ones unless you're in the military. But.
I will say I don't care how much patience Mr. Miyagi has. This nighttime scene where he keeps on asking about where my village is, you would have to go into the bathroom and strangle him to death and leave him there and hope that they think it's a James Bond type thing and the kid just had to die. That's like how I'd have to, like, because I could not stand this. This is too much.
Can you explain? Hang on a second. Can you explain to me when it is in those 20 some odd motion pictures that James Bond is just going around murdering children?
Oh, it's the stinger scene on Quantum of Solace. Everybody left the theater because it was terrible.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Yes. I'm sorry. I ruined it for people. I'm sorry, everybody.
Chris, you're reminding me of Commando when he just snaps that dude's neck and he's like, oh no, he's dead tired. Oh yes, my karate student is dead tired.
Yeah.
And then
also work.
On this, and he's like, let me sleep. Please let me sleep. He's like, okay. One more question, Mr. Miyagi. How do you know if there's no points in the fight? How do you know who wins and loses? And he's like, whoever's dead, that guy lost. Because this is it. This, by the way,
yep.
Welcome to Karate Kid Part 2, The Blood Feud, and it rules.
Absolutely,
yes.
dude. Fucking fight to the death.
We are playing for fucking keeps.
It's awesome. I fucking love it. I love that line, right? Because he says, I think it's a thing where he goes, oh, you know what it is? He goes, because the other thing is, so Sato learned karate from Mr. Miyagi's father, and LaRusso is like, oh, well, I thought you told me that, the Miyagi, karate tradition stayed inside the family. And he says, that the father, he asked the dad to make the exception for Sato because they're such good buddies. So he's like, "Hey, Mr. Miyagi, you think your dad's gonna like referee your fight to the death or what?" And he goes, "No, there's no referee,"
That's
is
right.
what it is. And he's like, "Well, then how do you know who wins?" And he goes, "The one who's dead doesn't."
Look.
Ooh, shit, dude, chills down your spine.
Look, Daniel, son, I'm not gonna mince word. He's an ungrateful son of a bitch. This Sato just an ungrateful piece of shit. I did everything for him, honestly. And yeah, his girl fell in love with me. Piece of shit. I got him exactly where he is. And this piece of shit, you know what? I'm trying to sleep, and you bring all this up, and then I go back to sleep. I'm going back to sleep now.
It is kind of interesting that that Sato not only learned karate from the same person, but then also opened a seemingly Cobra Kai-esque dojo. And I'm like,
yes.
Is that why Miyagi always hated organized karate?
Oh, because that's Sato shit, he says.
Maybe, yeah.
They're doing that Sato
shit.
That's that Sato
They're
brand karate, spits on the floor.
Well, because when you look at it, right, like because Daniel takes a stroll by the Sato Karate Studio later in the film, and you know who's inside there? Just a bunch of fucking white guys that could have been a Cobra Kai. I think Sato's like recruiting these dudes from all over Japan. Like, hey, white guy karate obsessed people, come here to my dojo.
I think it's because of there's a lot of GIs in Okinawa. There's a military base there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they do encounter some of the GIs in the exquisite fucking bar scene.
They also see a Sato advertisement where he's breaking a log in half at the airport.
Yes.
Right.
And right above that, it says Sato Escort Services. You could also. Yeah.
I will say it is brilliant. Putting the military base there is a brilliant way to make sure you can put a lot of white actors in your movie set in Japan.
Absolutely.
It's a very smart way. I think it's very smart.
The military base was actually there, though, in real life, anyway.
Is it a real life?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Take that, dude.
I don't know I'm sorry. I don't know the geography or the military bases in fucking Japan.
I can name every
you're showing a lot of what you don't know, dude.
It matters a lot.
No, by the way, I know that because, and this is going to sound weird, and I wish I still kept up with him so that I could fact check this movie. But my first roommate in New York City was Okinawan, so so I know a little bit of it. Not Ralph Macchio levels of content, but I know vagaries about Okinawa.
Dude, just from that sentence alone, I guarantee you know more about Okinawa than Ralph Macchio has ever fucking known. You've forgotten more about Okinawa than Ralph Macchio has ever known.
Like the actor.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I will say, so there's a great line with when we walk past it. It's Sato's breaking this log, and he's like, "Wow, Mr. Miyagi, oh, geez, you think you could break a log like that?" And it's an awesome, like, Sato brand karate dig. He's like, I don't know. Never been attacked by a tree. It's just like,
yep.
Fuck
So
you,
good.
dude.
So good.
It's so awesome. Yeah, I was also gunning to point out that line.
Oh, sorry.
Because I no, but I have to say, it's great because, like, the first film in this franchise is obviously the one that the zeitgeist really latched onto the most. And, like, a lot of knowledge of people who like maybe aren't like super familiar with the movies or anything, you still know shit that like Mr. Miyagi was talking about in the first movie. But this script really gives him some fucking heaters, including that one. He's got some great lines in this movie.
Well, because he was nominated for an Oscar for that first one, and this one, not so much, obviously. But that's you want.
He should have been. He totally should have been. I'm serious. I think the dramatic acting that he does in this movie is not better than, but there's just more of it in this movie. Like, he has the one scene where he's drunk with the wife and everything in the first movie. Totally get it. He was deserving of that nomination. But he's doing the same thing here, and I think he's getting to do a better, bigger job with it.
I will say it's a bomb that it's more of his movie, at least for like the first hour. Like,
this is a Mr. Miyagi movie, I think, almost, you're right, like almost entirely, honestly.
Up until about 80 minutes in, it starts becoming more about LaRusso, and that's when it really goes off the fucking rails. But like, for the first like 80 minutes, it is his movie.
Yeah, I mean, he does do a good job. He's got emotional moments. But at the same time, it's crazy to see an old man grieve over his father. But I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, and he does a good job with it. But it's also very interesting, that one scene where LaRusso is like helping Miyagi through the death of his father because he already experienced it. And it's not often you see a baby talk to an old man like that.
Since we're talking about it
Yeah.
now, that is the best acting Ralph Macchio does in this entire series, where he's just like,
Yes.
and he's quiet, and it's exactly what he's kind of quiet. He's like, when my dad died, I felt really bad, and I thought I wasn't there for him enough, and this, that, and the other thing that I realized I was there for him just enough because I was there. I got to say goodbye, blah blah blah. It's really really nice, and Miyagi doesn't even say anything in that scene. He's just totally crying. It rules.
It totally, like, watching it this time through, it like took me by surprise. I was like,
Yes.
whoa, like he's really, and I think it's a credit to Avildsen here just being able to direct actors very well, because it's like you could totally see Macchio just doing that in a peppier kind of Daniel LaRusso way, and he's almost like not even Daniel LaRusso at that moment.
Yes.
He's just like a totally different guy, and you need him to be a totally different guy in that scene, because the happy-go-lucky, aloof, annoying kid would not be able to give this guy comfort in that way, but he is actually successful with it.
But first, the blood feud.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because we're walking out of the airport and they're confronted by this guy who we learn later is Chosen, who's Sato's nephew. Is like, hey, my uncle sent you a car. I'm his nephew. We'll drive you right to your village. It's gonna be great. It's like, oh, this is really nice. And look, they're very excited, and you can tell something's a little off. They take them to like this construction site. I thought they were gonna fucking just get murdered right here, like 2 in the head each.
Oh yeah,
and just bury.
I
them.
would have been screaming. If I was LaRusso specifically, like my first time out of the country, probably, right? Like I'm just with this dude who, like, yeah, we're close, but I kindly only met him like when school started last year.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? And like, it's like, oh great, now I'm just on some wharf and I'm about to be murdered by Japanese gangsters. This
Deserves
is great.
it. Deserves it.
What can I say? Avildsen had final cut. That's how the movie has to end. I don't know what to tell you.
Dude, just like it's the 2 of them getting beaten to death in a cornfield. Daniel's son! Oh, Daniel's son!
Right. It's like Casino with Pesci.
Exactly. they strip them of their clothes, beat it with a little bit of baseball bats. It takes 20 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah, let's see your karate now.
Go to Black, directed and produced by John Avildsen.
It's
That's
still-
how you get your Oscar, dude.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
it.
be-
It would be
It'd be
one
good.
of the greatest short films ever made.
But
No doubt about it.
Sato introduces himself here. By the way, because we're not doing voices here, we're doing tonight. Sato will be played by Alan Alda. So he's like, geez, welcome back to Okinawa, Mr. Miyagi. Just you left last time, kind of like a coward in disgrace. You're gonna give you, you can go meet your dad. I'll let you go do that. But after that, you and I we're gonna have to, go after it.
He's giving me the business again.
The business indeed, dude. The dude who plays Sato is Danny Kamekona, also rest in peace. He was in a bunch of stuff, but I was noticing, kind of funny, I don't know what they're, if any, who knows, like probably not, maybe it's just a coincidence, but this dude is also in Collision Course with Pat Morita.
Interesting. They might have been buds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's very funny
I
that
am
he's also in this other much shittier Pat Morita movie.
I am fearful to find out what his role in Problem Child is.
Yeah.
I know that can't be good. Whatever it is, it can't be good.
The plight of a Japanese actor in the 1980s is just you can't even
Well,
fathom
let's just put it this way, guys. I don't remember Problem Child, the first one, all that well, but his character's last name is Hirohito.
That's
Uh-huh.
not a
Okay.
good sign.
He
Not a
is
good sign.
playing Mr. Hirohito. Now, it could just be a coincidence, but it could be that 1990 comedy making a really bad joke there.
That second Problem Child movie is like nothing but Trouble level disgusting. Like I've never seen anything
Yeah.
quite like it.
That's the one where they're puking at the restaurant, right?
Puking, there's puking and there's shitting and they're fucking. It's insane.
Wait, they're fucking
And
the
also-
puke and the shit
There's puking and shitting and fucking Eric, and it's insane
at the same time.
at the same time.
Ooh.
Isn't it also that second movie? Is it the second movie where Gilbert gets like run over by that huge rolling ball or whatever?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, that
Is that
sounds
the
familiar.
second one? It's been a really long time since I've revisited either of those trash fucking movies.
So basically, it's like, listen, you welcome back to Okinawa. The blood feud. It's yeah. I'm just letting you know the blood feud is still going. The meter's been running on the blood feud for quite some time now.
Turns out there's now interest on the blood feud, funny enough. So we're going to have to calculate that. But I think what's going to happen is not only will you be murdered, but we're going to have to grind up your bones into powder and then piss on it.
And remember, you can't tell me nothing. You're a fucking coward.
Alan Alda calling people a coward. I want this.
Did you teach your little white protege here cowardice as well? Is my question.
I mean, see, I see this Danielson and I want to fucking vomit.
So basically, they drive off and leave them to like kind of hitch a ride back to town. And Daniel's got a lot of questions, doesn't he? Doesn't he just have a lot of questions, everybody?
Well, he's a little curious cat, dude.
And it's just
but
like,
he's asking all about like the village and everything.
yes.
And this whole thing about like, well, it's the same shit that he was harping about on the plane. He was like, Mr. Miyagi, I don't even know. I mean, I'm looking at this map and it just says where your town's supposed to be is a military base.
Well, the funny thing is they go to the military base and they ask for the town, and the guy's like, I don't know where that is. And then somebody else is like, no, the town. And he's like, oh yeah, it's exactly behind us. And I'm like, what? It's this incredibly weird. I don't know if they're like trying to shine something onto these guys or what, but I'm like, no, it's it's the town. It's right behind you.
Yeah, it's the town that we like decimated most of to fucking build this goddamn imperialist American military base. And then like the fucking 5 houses that were lucky enough to not be destroyed is what is all that is left of Mr. Miyagi's home village. It is fucking disgusting.
Well, they also say, because it looks like it's like 1940, like just, and even Danielson's like, wow, Mr. Miyagi, geez, like the land time forgot. And there's something, it's like something Sato wants it this way? Question mark. I don't know.
They mentioned
it's a
that he owns the town, like he owns everything. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, and I think if anything, it's more of like Sato owns this, but he kind of doesn't give a shit to like update it really. As long as these townspeople keep like tilling the soil and shit, which he also just owns. And like Miyagi says something about like they, the townspeople pay him rent and everything. Like they don't own any of that property, and like whatever vegetables that they grow get outsourced. Because Sato, I mean, he's a real fucking businessman, dude. He's got a finger in a lot of pies here.
Mm-hmm. He's very busy.
He's like a vegetable peddler.
Well, the vegetable thing is very weird and interesting because the village is also being scammed. The nephew, when they do the they're like measuring it out with the weights, and Daniel's son, first of all, Daniel, what the fuck are you doing messing with this? Like they've got a grift in game. You don't fuck with it in game.
That's the thing, man. No less than like a few hours before that. Is it the same day or is it maybe the next day when Daniel's walking around? Like, this dude drove you to the fucking pier and really could have murdered you, man. And now you're blowing up his crooked vegetable scam? Like, come on.
Yeah, he cracks the weight in half, and then all the townspeople are, obviously angry because they're getting ripped off on their carrots and shit.
The look on Chozen's face right there is like both the actors who play Chozen and Sato have exquisite I wish I was killing you right now faces that they make.
Yes.
By the way, this white asshole is walking around with this headband, and I'm like, if you're Miyagi, you'd be like, listen, that's not what we're doing here, kid. It's fun and it's fun around my house, blah blah blah. You will be killed in the street for wearing that. I'm not kidding you.
Here you go, kid. Here's a LA Dodgers hat to keep
Exactly.
keep your head warm.
That is exactly right.
He's just dragged through the streets by the entire town and beaten like Muammar Gaddafi.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Like, kid, you don't even know what that symbol means, and someone's gonna ask you, and you're gonna get it wrong.
Listen, kid, there's absolutely no way you're going to pronounce this correctly. Okay? Take the headband off, all right?
Look,
Here's a Mets cap.
I can promise you that you will survive whatever happens, but it's not going. The rest of your life is not going to be as pleasant as if you had just taken the headband off.
Yeah, you take the headband off, or I take your teeth out.
Now let me tell you about my drunk fisherman father. Okay.
That is great. They go up and he sees his old love. It's a very sort of touching scene.
Yuki, dude.
I don't know at what point was it like in a letter that he wrote back. It's like, hey, thanks for letting me know I'm on my way. Could you do me a huge favor? Could the entire town speak English the entire time?
Yeah.
Can I speak when I'm speaking to my dying father? I'm going to talk to him in English because I don't know.
Start the lessons out.
It's a tough thing.
Yeah, can you give me the you give me that book on tape, and I'm gonna listen to some lessons.
I'm gonna be like the Duolingo owl for my dying father.
Yeah, I mean, so it is weird, but you kind of just gotta do it for the movie, I guess.
It is. I mean, I know it's a movie. It's fine, but it's pretty silly that they're all speaking English, and
it's also pretty silly that Daniel LaRusso is leering into the doorway, watching the final exchanges between Miyagi and Miyagi Senior.
Yeah, man. Why don't you just go way back at the other house, dude?
Yeah, like my father is dying. I can talk to you about karate maybe in 35 minutes. Is that fucking okay?
See, he should have done the stop off, dude. Like, as they're walking to where the father is, laying down, he should have been like, all right, Daniel, look, here's the Miyagi family dojo. You just kind of look around in here, maybe practice some karate or something. I have to go tend to my dying father, who you've never met, and you have no stake in this whatsoever, so please don't peer through the door where I'm giving my final goodbyes to this man.
Here's the problem, because you do that, and then it's like, oh, my son, one thing I needed you. Mr. Miyagi, I hit myself with a nunchuck. I need you to understand about our family. But, oh, man, are my eyes bleeding over here?
Oh, Miyagi, I tore my scrote.
Oh, jeez, Mr. Miyagi, my robe's on fire. I don't know how, but it just started on fire.
I know that you think you're a coward. Oh, gosh, Mr. Miyagi, I got your sides wet.
Oh, Miss Miyagi, do your hand rub thing on my scrote. Fix it.
Oh, shit.
And look, now he's dead. I was distracted because my idiot protege lit himself on fire and threw himself into the bay, and I turned around and missed it.
The father's last words are, "What is scrote?" And he passes away.
That's great. That's right. My father's final words. What is scrote? What is scrote? That's fantastic. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
Mr. Miyagi, I tore my fucking tape with nunchucks.
Of course you did. Of course you did. That's great to hear. I'm going to abandon my dead father right now and go and deal with your sprained taint.
I bet that's a real thing, by the way.
Yeah, it's true.
We're compressing a lot, but it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Sure. But very, very touching. We are conflating the two times that we see this dad. The first time he doesn't eat shit. The second time he does eat shit. But the first time he says a line and it's like whispered or something like that, I think, to Yuki. And he's like, oh, the fuck did that old bastard say? And he says that, or she says to him, what he said was, if I am, like, upon seeing his son return to the village, if I am dreaming, let me never awake. If I am awake, let me never sleep. So the detail that you do get here is like whatever fucking nonsense happened with Miyagi fleeing Okinawa with the arranged marriage and the fucking blood feud starting. The dad is like just elated that he's returned home, and it's at least a nice thing of like there's no bad blood between these two guys. Pretty good detail.
Just for the Miyagi timeline, he flees to go to America. Then he meets whomever his wife becomes, right? And then they have a whole thing, and then he dies and all this stuff. She dies and all this stuff. She dies.
In between there, he fights in World War II for America. which
sure.
is an interesting detail in general. Especially, I think we mentioned it before, but Pat Morita having been in an internment camp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so he left.
Terrible.
He left Japan, I guess, before the war, just before.
It must have been before the war. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I think he's like very young when it happens, like 18 or something, when this all goes down.
And so, I mean, it is also possible too that he fled to America, met what became Mrs. Miyagi, who became Mrs. Miyagi, and then went to serve. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't fleeing, serving, and then finding this lady.
So do you think the whole time he was married, fell in love with this beautiful wife that he loved so much? He was also like, I kind of wish you were Yuki. Yeah, you're fine, I guess.
I think the thing is, dude, we should go back to the videotape, see if there was any photographic evidence of the Mrs. Miyagi and whether or not she looks a little bit like the actress Nobu McCarthy.
And that's why
you know what I mean? Like,
he was crying in the first.
Finding a looking like.
He was crying in the first movie because it wasn't the woman he wanted to marry.
I wasted my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Miyagi's just walking around his house singing, if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with, love the one you're with, going to war now.
Damnedest thing, I lost my eye in the service.
Interesting thing about Nobu McCarthy, the actress who played Yuki, she passed away in 2002. She played Pat Morita's wife on Happy Days.
Oh, that's fun.
When he was, what is it, Ralph's place? Or no, not Ralph. Fuck is it?
Arnold?
Arnold. It is
yes,
Arnold, you're right.
He was the rotating Arnold there on Happy Days for a bit, and she played his wife too. It's kind of neat.
And also here, obviously, the love interest shows up for Daniel-san, I should say.
Kumiko.
Yes, Kumiko.
She's the one who actually translates for him about the whole thing that you just said with the if I'm dead.
Oh, you know what? That's right, dude. Because you're totally right. Because it's Macchio asks her.
Yeah. Because
Hey, what did you say?
Because he's like 4 feet away. It's like, geez, what did he say? He said, if they're going to stand out there, they might as well come in. Because it's just really annoying.
Would you tell that white bread son of a bitch to keep it down? He said, I have but hours left. Tell that fucking Italian kid to shove it.
I might be dreaming, but did somebody leave The Godfather Part 2 on television? That's what he said.
And Kumiko is played by Tamlyn Tomita, who I guess is now reprising this role on Cobra Kai, the TV series, which is kind of interesting. But
yeah,
she's been around. I noticed this last night looking through her filmography. We have spoken about her before on our Making It So Star Trek Picard recap podcast over on our Patreon. She played the crooked Commodore O.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. That makes sense.
And I guess she's also on that fucking show, The Good Doctor, which thanks but no thanks, America.
Not happening.
It's NBC nonsense or is it CBS nonsense? It's always hard to keep those straight.
Ooh, shit, dude. I think that might be ABC nonsense, to tell you the truth.
Confirmed ABC. I'm on the page right now. Nice.
So we're starting to learn a little bit of a new karate move, which is called dodging.
Is it? Is that what he refers to it as?
No, I mean, but that's what it is, because it's like, okay. Because like the best kind of block is to not be there, which is to dodge a punch, which is a good idea.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just thought you were saying that I missed some line where he's like, now this one, kid, this one's called dodging, see?
And yeah, there's this kind of cool scene. They're on the wharf again, and he has to there's this crazy death contraption spike that's coming after him.
Dude, this is some Final Destination shit that he takes him to right here. Because this was at one time Miyagi's village was a fishing village, and apparently he tells some story that Sato's father destroyed the entire fishing industry for the village because he like contracted all these big heavy hitting like fishermen to come in, and they fucking totally just fished all the water clean and screwed over all of these guys. And Miyagi's just like, so anyways, after that happened, I also had my first date here on this wharf, you see.
And I got jacked off next to a fucking empty lake.
My boys were swimming alone in that pond, I tell you.
She was very courteous.
I said, let's put some tadpoles in there. There's nothing in there. Maybe something will grow.
And in the middle of then there's this crazy thing. This is when Miyagi's father dies. But when Miyagi goes back to the village and Sato is ready to fight him again. But then as his father's dying, he kind of brings the two guys together. And there's like sort of a pseudo making peace ceremony.
Yeah, maybe this should have been enough. Maybe Sato should have been like, all right, my sensei's dying wish is to not murder his son. Maybe I should honor that.
Exactly. Sato, should have backed off here also. But I do love that Sato through, I mean, almost all of this movie, but especially in this scene where he runs into them in the village and it's like all about to go down. He is so much the like, hey, Miyagi, thought I told you never to come in here. Like he is the Biff Tannen of this village. He is tracking down Miyagi to bully him at any possible moment he can find. I love it.
It is alternate 1985 Biff because he owns the town.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're totally right, dude. You're absolutely right.
He's also owning him right after the father dies. Like as the father dies, and then Sato's like, hey, look here, I'm going to give you 3 days. 3 days to mourn him, and then, you know what? You're going to join him in the afterlife. You understand?
Dude, great line, too.
And, like, you were standing over the dead body and pointing at it while... It's just insane.
I'm going to send you to meet him.
Yeah, your dad was a real sweet guy. Yeah, you know, you always used to treat me to lunch. I would never let me pay. It was always a big deal. And honestly, you know, I was a big deal. One time I got locked out of my apartment. He let me in there once. He was a really, really sweet guy. By the way, I'm going to kill you in 3 days. You got 3 days to mourn him. Then I'm going to murder you.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Miyagi. All right, Sato here. Your father just died, and I totally respect that. He was a great man. But I hate you so much that I would rip off his dead arm and beat you with it right here. So 3 days before I beat you to death with the corpse of your own father.
See, he's the deal. Is basically that blood feud cost me about $15,000 back when I didn't kind of have that kind of money. I had to borrow it from my brother-in-law. It was a big deal. Ugh.
I'm gonna make your face mash.
Make your face mash.
Tape recorder clicks. Death idea. Beating your rival to death with his dead father. Click.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just walking around the village and I get so many great ideas to murder people. I write them down in a tape recorder I keep. I'm also working on a new play. Got that going on. I think we're trying to get it up maybe next spring. Talking with Woody Allen might star in it. Sato.
And it's awesome. I mean, this is the scene where Macchio kind of heals him a little bit, you know, or consoles him a bit. We kind of do some talent, and you know, Macchio is still, you know, he's an American tourist in Japan. This is beautiful lady. He's trying to get it wet here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Doing all of his Macchio moves.
Yeah, romantically, but he's trying to get it wet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
I mean, you know, it's kind of like they're there for a week.
I will say,
you know,
their date scene is pretty, like, it's charged. Like John Avildsen is not sleeping behind the camera here totally. He gives that scene
absolutely not
some heat, I would say.
They keep getting interrupted by Chozen. At some point, they're walking into the town. I forget what happens. She's teaching him how to dance, and Chozen's like, "Oh, look at the ladies dancing." I'm like, dude, he's making a move. Like, come on.
Chozen has another great line earlier where he's like, "Oh, it's the coward Miyagi and his baby."
Oh, that's right. Because also
And his baby.
because he's got this. We should talk about the little hand drum thing that Miyagi gives him, and it's like, oh, this is all you ever need to know. It's a classic Miyagi bullshit line. It's like all you ever need to know about karate is in this drum. It's like, I don't know, dude. How about a straight punch? How about a straight kick? How about like, you know?
Yep.
I see that Chozen. He's got a lot more than one move, dude.
And he's not dodging people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing about Chozen fucking talking shit to LaRusso right there when he's trying to learn the dance. Like, you're right, Steve. Clearly, like, LaRusso's making inroads here.
Mm-hmm.
You do kind of get a sense of Chozen being like, hey, that used to be my fucking lady friend, man. Like, maybe a little bit of that going on. But also, like, Chozen, you got nothing to stand on here, dude. I see the shirt you are wearing in this scene. You look ridiculous. No one is going to find this. It is like this weird, like shiny, multicolory, disco-looking shirt.
It's
that
kind of
this
hot.
asshole
I
had.
was kind of
no,
into it.
dude.
It's nice.
He's peacocking, and he should,
Guys, he looks fucking
Well,
stupid.
okay, should I gotta ask, should we be giving Chozen a voice as well? Should it be like Gary Busey?
I think that's one too many balls in the air for We Hate Movies to jump.
Oh, fair enough.
Here comes Miyagi and his baby.
I do love at some point in the scene, like she rips his shirt off, and like I think he knocks over Daniel, and she gets pissed, and she like rips his shirt off, and he's like, ha! You can add it to your collection because he's like totally jacked, and he's like, yeah. Chozen rules.
Also,
dude.
when that happens, it's because LaRusso, second time in as many films, getting humiliated by the villain by getting kicked in the stomach in front of his prospective lady friend. Because the same thing happens in the first movie when they're on the
Right.
soccer field and he gets kicked in the stomach and falls over, and then Elizabeth Shue has to be like, hey, why don't you get the fuck out of here, Johnny? Like, and all of that stuff.
I do have to hand it to these movies. They are dedicated to watching him getting the shit kicked out of him.
Oh yeah,
Like in
Oh, I
all
love
these
it, dude.
movies, they all like you really get like always a black guy, always a little blood. I gotta love it.
In this movie, I think more than the first one, he is getting his ass handed to him. I think if you looked at it, like if you averaged it out on the timeline, like, I don't know, like once every like 15 minutes in this movie, Ralph Macchio gets his ass kicked. It's kind of awesome.
Listen, Danielson, I'm not going to mince words here. Chosen looks like he could eat you. Like, do you see this lean abdomen? Do you see the bubble pectorals he's got going on here?
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
gonna
those
eat you.
pecs
Look
are
at my
quite
teeth.
something.
By the way, that girl's we're the only people the same age in this village, so you gotta back off.
yeah. I call dibs. I got
Yeah, you
dibs.
Can't go around dating one of those kids you're teaching to dance.
Maybe I'll
That's like her weird job too. Is
Yeah.
like she's the dance teacher. Well, she does want to be like a professional dancer, but I don't know like if she's supposed to be working anywhere else, or is like this she teaches like the town's children this one dance or something.
I think there's I think it's part of the bone dance or something that they
the
they
Oban
hold.
dance.
Yeah, the one that they did at the castle for so many years. I guess it's part of the, you know,
Just the town's
ancestral
tradition or
tradition.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. So they go home from, you know, this LaRusso just being humiliated again, and they fucking walk in, and this is good. I'm glad that she is there with him, Kumiko, that is, with Daniel LaRusso, because they get back to the house, and Miyagi, he's fucking making inroads of his own,
Oh, of
man,
course.
because he's
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this tea ceremony, and LaRusso's like outside, like, hey, what are they doing? And she's like, listen, it's a tea ceremony. It means they're falling in love again. And I was just waiting for LaRusso to be like, yeah, Mr. Miyagi, you get it. You go get that love of your life, Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, Mr.
I'm ruining this for you, aren't I?
Oh, Mr. Miyagi, can we do a love tea ceremony too? Me and you, can we do a tea ceremony?
Hey.
I love you, Mr. Miyagi.
Kid, keep it down. I'm trying to go to Pound Town here, okay?
Oh, cool, Mr. Miyagi. If you're gonna go have sex with that woman, you better show her your Medal of Honor. Guess what? I smuggled it.
Little kid, I'm on the way to Climax City. I'm on the expressway already, all right?
The expressway. What does that mean? He's not going to last too long?
Well, no, because he's doing a tea ceremony. This is a very a big gesture.
Yeah,
Hey, kid, I'm already ready to shoot, all right?
I've already taken the pill.
taking the. Listen, I got the sun is setting here. I got about 2 hours left, or else this thing's gone. So.
Gone.
You know, all the commercials, it's always like swinging on a swing set or like dancing in your backyard. But no, it's a tea ceremony. It's a tea ceremony this time.
Yeah, this is why you never buy off-brand boner pills, kid, because this shit only works when the sun is up. I don't understand it.
Gremlin rules on these boner pills. I don't get it. I can't eat after midnight. And you know what? I can't even get it wet. I got to wear a rubber.
I can't get wet while I'm in it, which is terrible because for me, Mr. Miyagi, I love fucking in the shower.
And if I break the rules, I could turn into John Cassavetes.
You're right. The fucking Gremlin equivalent to the Mogwai to Gremlin is Peter Falk to John Cassavetes.
I love it.
Although I would say the spike of the group is Ben Gazzara.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus.
Yes, absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
lead gremlin.
So, I mean, what do we think here after this tea ceremony? Like, Mr. Miyagi had sex with this woman,
For
right?
sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Right? They slept together, loving it. Because he does have, like, a next morning, like, little bit of a pep in his step. He's walking around the house barefoot, got a nice new crisply ironed pair of slacks on.
Just like that scene from Grumpy Old Men when Jack Lemmon gets laid and he's like making eggs with Tabasco sauce for the first time in a decade because his stomach couldn't handle it. But now that he emptied his boner, ready to go.
Wait. He emptied it, huh?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Gotcha. Thank you.
That's
I guess it's a thing where, like, because she waited for him, essentially. She never got married or anything like that. I'm sure she's had some times of her own, but I mean, like, yeah, they're in their like 60s or something. What are you waiting for?
Yeah,
you're not gonna get married, dude.
You're totally right, Steve. Yuki is not Wonder Woman, so she definitely fucked after the love of her life left her.
Yep.
There is a thing. They're walking through the village. This is a fucking another totally ridiculous Daniel LaRusso moment where they're like walking around and he's like, so what are like your hopes and dreams and stuff? What do you want to do for a living? And she's like, oh, I'll show you. And they go up to this electronics store window and she goes, oh yeah, like right here. And he goes, what do you want to sell TVs for a living? You're like, you fucking moron. And she's like,
How charming.
no, like what's on the TVs? And there's like a ballerina dancing or something. I think it's actually, I was reading on IMDb, it's a clip from Fame that's on the
interesting.
television. But yeah, just that line, like, what do you want to sell televisions for? Like, what if she did, dude? You just fucking cursed your whole operation here.
Yeah, she doesn't have
Come on.
lofty goals like winning another All Valley tournament, you fucking idiot.
Do you? Oh man, imagine like he asks her like, you know, oh, what do you want to do, you know, in your future? And she's like, well, one thing I've always wanted to do is go to California and win the All Valley karate tournament. And then he would get fucking totally indignant with her. Oh, what do you think? You can win the All Valley? Look, not just anybody can win the All Valley. Mr. Miyagi, I want to go home.
It'd be cool if he like just like he starts courting her, but then he ends up fighting her.
And she fucking totally wrecks him in like 2 seconds. It'd be great. While they're standing outside that store, though, everybody catch the celebrity sighting here?
No.
Oh yeah, BD Wong.
The guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, BD Wong is the guy who runs up and he's like, hey, there's a dance. Here's a flyer.
shit.
Gotta go. See you in Jurassic Park. But this is also where we see right after the BD Wong sighting is where LaRusso's like, oh, look, there's Sato's dojo. Like, let's go fucking look at that. And she's like, dude, do not let any of them see you. Like, please get your ugly face out of that window. Come on, kid.
It is funny, BD Wong, because like you were saying, like Japanese actors have to like, they're all from America. Like BD Wong's from San Francisco, and like he's just like, all right, there's a cool dance. Like he's young too,
Yes.
and he's like,
He sounds like a Ninja Turtle.
he's trying to do like a Japanese accent, but it really does come off like a Ninja Turtle. It's pretty hilarious. All right, Radical, talk to you later.
By the way, at some point, Daniel LaRusso is I think it's Chozen tells him he's like oh boy, that's the first time I was told somebody told me they're gonna kill me.
Yes, I love that.
And I'm like,
Oh, right.
not gonna be the last.
No.
Seriously. And I'm actually surprised that it was the first.
We run into him here again. What's interesting about this sequence where they walk by this bar and it's a little rowdy and stuff, and she's like, no, that's a bad place. Let's not go there. And he's like, what are you talking about? Come on, I'm a tourist. Let's go in.
I couldn't believe it. Like when you know, especially in the case of like going all the way to a foreign land, right? And you have the sweet fortune of being able to be shown around by a local. And that local is like, you know, we shouldn't go in there. It kind of sucks and it's like a little dangerous. Listen to that person.
Of course.
Because otherwise you're going to find yourself fucking punching through a bunch of ice blocks while your fucking weird surrogate dad gambles on you.
Well, this scene's the most loudmouth he gets because they go in and it's like a bunch of GIs. They're doing this weird karate ice break thing in the middle of a bar. Sure, whatever.
It seems
including Clarence Gilliard, by the way.
Yes,
Everybody recognize him?
I did.
Love it.
It seems like it's a fixture of the bar. Like it's like darts.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
ice breaking.
Oh yeah, dude. This is this town's equivalent of like there was that one bar now in the city. I can't remember it, but like the bar that had the fucking like Buck and Bronco machine in it.
Yeah.
And like you went to that bar because you knew that thing was there and you could watch people do that.
Right.
That's what this place. It's the ice block bar. You can go there. Dudes are chopping ice. It's fucking ridiculous. You can watch these drunk GIs break their hands all the time.
It's kind of like the modern thing of the axe throwing bar.
Yes.
Well, this is.
Yes.
I would say this is much safer than throwing a fucking axe around while people are drinking.
I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like you're going to get a lot of people hurting their hands doing
Sure.
this ice break.
No,
That's fair.
hurting themselves, fine.
Yeah.
Hurting others by hurling an axe through a bar while you've been drinking,
It-
a little more
It's not
dangerous.
the middle of the thing. It's a specialized area.
Look at, I could juggle with this thing. Oh, that's a lot of blood.
And I know it's a specialized area, Steve, but do not tell me that there is nary an establishment in this country that has one of those things that has not had some sort of accident happen.
That's fair. I do love
Somewhere something went wrong.
So these guys are rowdy. They're drunk. They're big American GIs. They're scary, screaming about this thing. And Macchio is just like, jeez, they're doing it all wrong. You got to use your blah blah blah. And then Clarence Gilliard's like, oh yeah, loudmouth. He calls him loudmouth. I'm like, fucking finally, someone said it.
Now
I was
let's see this guy break some bricks. Okay, put up six.
Yes, that's right. Because he's like, I'll give you. Then Chozen emerges. I guess he got out of his karate class, changed immediately, ran down to this bar.
Great point. Shit. Yeah, he was in that fucking karate class, wasn't he?
Yeah, like 3 minutes ago.
I think we are seeing it wrap up while Macchio's kind of peering through.
Okay.
And you know that it's like, all right, class dismissed. Now I'm going to go to the bar I always go to afterwards. They're punching ice blocks.
Get in on that action.
I mean, and the crazy thing is you're seeing dudes like these GIs trying to do it, and it's like they can't even break through like 3 or something like that. And then, you know, like Chozen's buddy is like, so what do you think, man? Would do like 4? And he's like, how about 6? Like really trying to fuck this dude over. I appreciate it. Style points for Chozen right here.
Yeah, and then like what Miyagi comes in, he's like, is there a betting going on? Okay, here we go. I'll put 600 in.
Well, what's ridiculous is like it's just the two of them, right? It's just Daniel and Kumiko, and they walk into this bar. And then all of a sudden, there's Mr. Miyagi.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden, there's Chozen. And then all of a sudden, there's Sato. And all of a sudden, you realize every character with speaking lines from this movie, because what's her face? Yuki's there also with Mr. Miyagi. Every character with a speaking line is at this ice blocking competition.
It's
That's
like you had a
true.
Rushmore all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like everybody's there.
The one girl, she runs out, and I guess she presumably gets Miyagi, who we are told is in that area of the town to buy a part for a refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Oh, right.
Well, look, he laid pipe, and now he's got to, got to start being the man around the house. Start fixing that refrigerator, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's
Totally.
the idea. Well, I think it's maybe some points here, like, all right, I'll fix a refrigerator and then more sex tonight. It's going to be great.
Well, I am going to have to. I am going to be abandoning her in like 2 days. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, I should be fix a refrigerator at least.
Goodbye, gift,
But to
sweetheart.
Yeah, you can keep your vegetables cold now.
Now, listen. They kicked me out of the local casinos. How much money can I put on the boy?
Whenever she gets a seltzer out of there, she's gonna be thinking about this hog.
That's another instance, though, with the refrigerator where Daniel does not realize how close he is to cock blocking him, because he's like, Mr. Miyagi, what are you doing up there? And he's like, I'm fixing the refrigeration unit here. There's something amiss with it. What are you doing? And he's like, oh, we're going out. Kamiko's taking me sightseeing, but I can help you with this refrigerator. And he's like, no, I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, Mr. Miyagi, no. You always help me out, Mr. Miyagi. I'll help you fix this refrigerator. No, I've got it.
Listen, kid, when grown-ups fix refrigerators, it's a lot of things go on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be fixing this refrigerator all day. All right.
One time I fixed a fridge real good, and 9 months later the stork came.
Often when fixing a refrigerator, you have to bang it against the wall.
Oh my God.
Sometimes, kid, the best way to get a refrigerator up and running fast is pull its hair.
Oh my God.
Mr. Miyagi likes it rough.
I'm sure he does. I'm not going to doubt that.
He was crushing up habanero in that tea ceremony.
I gotta lay down some newspapers before we do it.
Wow, it sounds like Miyagi was fixing the refrigerator last night.
Yeah, much like a broken refrigerator, there seems to be wetness all over the floor.
Of course, that coward fixed the refrigerator that I fixed about 14 days ago. I mean, my gosh, it's just sort of the same fridge gets fixed by the same guy in 2 weeks. It's a pretty lucky refrigerator.
Now, let me ask you, how much can I put on the boy?
Well, that's so basically the bet is Miyagi's like, I'll put down 6 large that this kid
Unbelievable.
at 3-to-1 odds, by the way, that he can crack all six ice, and like, they're like, oh jeez, Mr. Miyagi, I can't do this. Blah blah. He's like, just focus. Of course he does it. It rules. This is a scene, like, I grew up with this movie a lot. I probably saw this movie almost as much as the first one growing up, and I remember the scene like perfectly. You know what I mean? All of it.
Oh yeah.
Trozen has a moment where he can't like cover that bet, so that's why Sato shows up to be the financier.
Oh, that's right, because Miyagi's like, yeah, I don't know, how about like $600? That work for you?
And he's just like, oh my God, I can't cover that.
Okay, listen, I'll cover the kid. We'll take care of it. It'll be fine. I want points on the back end.
But this, like, he shows in this moment that he's utilizing Mr. Miyagi's breathing technique, which is what he was trying to teach him back in California with the whole like nail thing. It was like, just like breathe in and then breathe out when you hit the nail. So that's like kind of the, because he says, what's Miyagi's line there? Like, without breath, there is no life. Right. So it's again, like Daniel-san very much picking up quick what Mr. Miyagi's putting down.
Smart kid.
Slays these ice blocks.
He
Yeah. And
does.
Sato, man, the fucking facial expressions on this dude, I love it. This guy is furious about what happened.
Well, that is great. His face after that, but nothing beats. They go back to the bar, and fucking Chozen is like about to not allow them to take the money.
Yeah.
And then
right.
Sato is like, yeah, you know what? You fucking disgusted me today. You fucked up my whole day. Let him have the money. You've embarrassed me. Could you just go away from now?
Yeah, I wake up here. I'm going to this. I'm coming here to get my tailor to get my suit fixed, and I hear this bet. I cover it. Now I'm down $2,000. Great, just great, fantastic.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I hope that I'm starting to feel like I wish that little Italian kid was my nephew.
Don't say that, Uncle.
Let me ask you. Maybe I start calling you a baby. Would you like to be called that, baby?
I would not like to be called a baby. And first of all, I don't think we should be honoring the bets of cowards.
Absolutely. And it's amazing. So Miyagi divvies up the money. He's like, you know what? Here's the money for your ticket back so now you can go to college. Christ, I can't believe that's my responsibility. And now
Fucking outrageous.
he's like, let me I'll treat you to some Chinese food. Let's get the lady some Chinese food. Then they go to this dance, and I cannot believe it's a fun little sock hop dance. It's a cute moment between Kumiko and Macchio here. We're dancing, it's fun. And
Really dancing, dude. Really, really dancing in this scene.
they are. And Chozen shows up, and like Macchio brought like $1,000 on him downtown. Like, dude, you get that money, you take out $40 for the night. It's 1980. You're fine. Put the rest under your pillow or something.
Absolutely.
It's like they ate that Chinese food, and then it's like, okay, Mr. Miyagi, you and Yuki are going home. Okay, can you just take all of this money? Because we're going out to this dance, but you're going home where things are going to be safe and it's not a public place. Could you take this money? That's what you got to do, dude. And instead, he is fucking just breaking this wad out in public and showing people.
Idiot.
insane.
So he earlier in the movie also Mr. Miyagi teaches him the ancient art of hitting someone in the balls.
Oh man, it's great. Also with a little bit of theatricality also, because it's like a whoops, drop my handkerchief. Like it's I have to bend down to pick something up off the floor,
Yes.
and then I'm punching you in the fucking nuts.
Oh no, my nerds.
It is a great punch to the balls, and I realized in this moment, because they are doing very much like a Happy Days sock hop type dance.
Yes.
That's what's
Yeah.
happening here. This was 1986. This movie came out. 1985, Back to the Future comes out. Both of these motion pictures feature a scene where the song Earth Angel is
Yes.
playing while someone gets punched at a dance. It is fucking great.
It's a mark of quality right there.
But yeah, this is they start like holding hands. It's another great little nice romantic moment that is squandered almost immediately. I mean, there's so much of like they're just about to kiss. I think they are kind of going in for it right here, or no? Is it just hand holding?
Yeah, they might be going in for the smooch.
Oh, no, they get the kiss gets fucked up when
Yeah.
they have their own tea ceremony.
Yes,
Yeah,
Because
that's
the
right.
bell starts ringing because a fucking storm is coming. Yeah, okay. But yeah, this punch to the balls is great. But again, Macchio does kind of get beat up a little bit here, though.
Of course he does.
It's a pretty intense scene too. Like there's a little bit of a rape threat thing going on. Like we're gonna take her out back. We're gonna take your girlfriend back.
Yes.
Just like
yes,
Back to the
yeah.
Future, yeah.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. George, help me. Yeah, exactly.
It was the
so
1980s. It was the 1980s.
Might as well been the
That
50s.
is right.
Yeah.
So that all sort of ends, and then it's like that night. And this is one of the funniest things, I think, is like Sato going to Mr. Miyagi's house, like with his goons, and just screaming into the night for Miyagi to walk outside.
Miyagi, show yourself here. I'm getting cold out here. I'm only wearing a kimono. It's my nips are freezing out here.
Yeah.
Miyagi, come on! It came all the way down here, Miyagi.
Me and my uncle are going to trash your dojo.
Listen, Miyagi. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rip up your whole damn village. I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to rip the whole damn thing up. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I hate your ass, and I'm going to rip up your whole village.
2 words, buddy. Blood feud. Blood feud.
I hope you didn't want these crops. I'm ripping them up.
Dude, yeah, he starts because it's the whole thing is like LaRusso comes down, he's like, yeah, what do you guys want? And Sato says, because he's like, where's Miyagi? And he's like, he's not here. And he goes, yeah, well, leave a message for me. And then they just start fucking up the garden, man.
And they go into earlier in the movie. We finally see the Miyagi dojo it has these like old scrolls that are the rules of karate. Fucking Chozen's fucking those up with this really cool spear.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
spear is
It's
pretty
great,
badass.
dude. He's running around with this spear. It's terrifying. Because in the last Karate Kid movie, no weapons.
Mhm. Chozen tries to kill him here. There's a thing where it's like, "Oh, did your sensei ever teach you how to fight with spears?" And he's like, "Well, no." And he's like, "Too fucking bad, you're gonna die." And he starts choking him out, dude.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
I'm gonna turn you into a kebab right now.
But then Mr. Miyagi comes out of nowhere. I think he was still getting laid. I think he was still busy.
Definitely.
Some business to attend to.
Yeah, there's a big
I'll get to the garden in a second.
giant wet mark all around his crotch.
Daniel's choking. XYZ. oh.
But Mr. Miyagi kicking the shit out of these dudes. It's fucking awesome.
Reminiscent of the first one, obviously, but we're playing the hits a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun.
when he
It is.
yeah, he almost gets this fucking spear in the face though. And crazy thing is, Chozen is the only guy, and this was trivia. I didn't notice this anywhere else, but who apparently got a legit hit on Miyagi in any of these movies because he fucking totally. This actor is just wailing Pat Morita over the back with this spear.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, it's believable in the first one because they're just little kids that he's beating up. In this
Yes.
movie, it's this short, squat 60-year-old man. He's got no reach. He's not that fast, and he's beating the shit out of
Yep.
all these guys. Question mark. It's fine. It's a
Yeah.
movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
But Chozen would
it's
fucking
one
make
thing
him
to
eat
be
his lunch. That's what would happen.
No, you're totally right. It is one thing to beat up children after a Halloween dance.
Also,
You know what I mean?
Chozen also looks like he's on uppers for half of this, so
Exactly, dude.
he might be a little bit more up to date with the speed.
It would have been rad if there was some maybe at the dance before he fucks with LaRusso or something. There is a scene where Chozen's in the bathroom and he's just fucking snorting something off the sink.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this will get me where I need to go.
So Miyagi gets the spear away from him and almost kills him with it. And then the fact that
Yeah.
Miyagi doesn't makes Chozen flip out. He's like, "Hey, you didn't kill me with the spear. You must be a coward."
Yeah.
Got a coward here.
Kind of a weird move, honestly.
A
Why
little
don't you
weird.
fucking kill me? I mean, then again, we're almost in year 2 of the pandemic, so I get you. Dude.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
please.
Yeah. I'll take a spear to the face. I don't give a fuck anymore. Just tell me that's the Moderna vaccine. I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, that's how we're delivering the vaccine is by spear. We're gonna spear you right in the arm.
Yeah, that's right, Miyagi. Come on down to my dojo. I'll give you the vaccine. Bullet to the fucking head.
Yeah, it's a death vaccine, Miyagi.
Oh, dude, Alan Alda in Death Vaccine?
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck, dude.
He's like a crooked
You'll get-
doctor.
You'll only need to get stuck once.
Oh,
It's death vaccine.
oh man, no, a vaccine, and it's VEX.
Yes.
And then what
Like
happened?
he's vexed, rather than death
Oh, I
vaccine.
see. I see what you're saying. I didn't follow. I'm stupid. Weird detail here though. When all is said and done, those dudes run off and everything, and LaRusso has some line about we got to do something about this or whatever, and Miyagi is like, "Oh, you know what? It's not worth it, Daniel-san, because we're leaving tomorrow."
Yes.
And I was like, "You're leaving tomorrow? Your family's house was just destroyed by these people, and you're gonna fucking shag ass Miyagi? Now that is actual cowardice, sir."
So then the next day, as they're packing up, basically, Sato comes back. He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna destroy the whole fucking town. This town means nothing to me. I got towns like this I forgot about. Okay, Miyagi, I don't care.
Yeah.
I got too many towns anyway."
You know, I told my nephew there to turn up your turnips. Next, I'm going to turn up your houses. Yeah, houses.
It is great though, dude, because he fucking rolls up in a station wagon or something, but also with a bunch of dudes driving bulldozers.
Yeah, the property taxes alone are killing me. So, but also that and the blood feud, lest you forget.
Yeah, it's mostly the blood feud, but also the American military gave me a good deal on selling the rest of this town off to expand the base.
I can only take so much humiliation. You understand that, Miyagi. So I have to destroy your village.
So Miyagi, it comes down to this. Miyagi says, "Look, I will finally fight you, And no matter if I win or lose, you have to agree, like just due to me agreeing to do this, you have to agree to give the townspeople the deed to the land, and the town is just owned by the villagers in perpetuity.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty
Just
good
and then
move. Good move.
it's a good move because as Miyagi points out later, right, he says to Daniel, because Daniel's of course like freaking out about Mr. Miyagi getting killed and whatever, and he's like, whatever happens to me, he says, Miyagi already won because the town is safe. So it's this big heroic gesture to from Mr. Miyagi, man. Like he's ready to lay down his life for this town.
Daniel, don't worry about it. No matter what happens, I won. I put 3 lodge on Sato killing me. It's gonna pay out 2 to 1. I'm gonna make out. Well, I'll be dead, but I'll make out pretty well.
Yeah, it's enough to pay the river man.
He does also is like he does deed Daniel his house and everything, making up pretty well here, Daniel.
Not bad.
Oh, right, because he says if he die, because it's, dude, it is. This would have taken me by surprise. Miyagi comes in, he's like, here you go, Daniel-san. He gives him something. Daniel's like, what's this? And he's like, last will and testament. It's like, oh, fuck. But it states that Miyagi, gives Daniel LaRusso the house and cars in L.A., and then Yuki will get the house here in Okinawa. But can you just imagine, like, someone being like, here you go. You took that, right? Now it's in your hand? Well, that's my last will and testament. What responsibility? Like, you got to find a fucking executor of the estate now?
To hand it to a high schooler, and this moron of all people.
Exactly. He's gonna fucking lose it on the plane, this asshole.
Oh, I got ketchup on it, Miss Miyagi. Oh, wait, you're dead.
You'll be lucky if he doesn't trade it for beans, this idiot.
I think the deal is if Miyagi does win, though, he should have agreed to take Daniel on a tour around the world chopping ice blocks for money.
But clean
Like
up.
yes.
Karate Kid Part 3 is fucking totally ridiculous, and Terry Silver alone is worth a watch for that movie. But if the plot of Karate Kid 3 was they're just going around kind of like over the top, right? Like just doing all these like arm wrestling competitions, but it's just ice chopping.
Next up
I'd be
on
down.
Fox, it's Icebreakers from the mind of Daniel LaRusso, famed international icebreaker. We bring you Icebreakers.
And I think the conceit of that show is it's 2 people standing in front of a block of ice. They have 1 minute exactly to get to know each other a little bit.
Mhm.
And then if they want to continue the date, they try to chop the ice in half.
Ooh, I
right?
like it.
It's speed dating mixed with the thrill of karate.
This just in. Icebreakers has been canceled.
After one taping. We didn't even cut it. It's just the taping. We decided to stop.
Well, because it was the first person that went to try to, chop the ice, and they broke their wrist forever.
We're sued forever. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's the night of the big blood feud. But first, Kumiko takes Ralph Macchio away for a little tea ceremony. Okay.
Yeah, dude. You guys think there was like fucking like some sort of like boner powder in that tea?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, huh?
Like really get him going?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Also, Ralph Macchio, like, he's really bad. He keeps making like really American references to this woman. And she's like, I'm speaking English really well, but I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I don't know what the fucking Palisades are, you asshole.
It's funny, dude. Anytime that happened in this movie, because he uses a lot of like slang in front of her, like and just like weird American expressions. Like he says stuff like she says something to him, and he goes, like, oh, I guess I wasn't. What the fuck is the expression? Now I'm gonna forget it. But he's like, oh, one of those like when they were giving out whatever, I was in the bathroom, or I must have been absent the day they covered.
Oh, gracefulness,
whatever.
I think is what it is. Gracefulness.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think I was absent the day they were giving out gracefulness or something like that, or teaching gracefulness. And she's like, what? But it reminded me of when I was in middle school. We had an exchange program I took Russian all through high school. We had an exchange program, and a couple like Russian kids came over and stayed with some families and everything, and they came to the class, and we got to talk to them. And I was doing that, like just speaking in slang and just being like a fucking dumbass like 8th grade kid, and not the guy that I was talking to had to be like, all right, so what is, like, I think I said like chill out. Like I was like, what do you do to chill out? And he was like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, I'm being very piggish right now. Pardon me. So like Ralph Macchio doing that in this movie, I was like getting fucking flashbacks.
Because you don't have to like speak slowly, but you can't just be like using weird euphemisms that no one could ever possibly get.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. Yeah, and then also like real Jersey specific shit. Like, oh, this looks like the Palisades. Yes, this tiny mountain range in northern New Jersey.
Boy, I just love your spaghetti mouth. Jesus Christ.
Your spaghetti mouth. That's a love song.
Yeah.
Your spaghetti mouth.
Sounds like a Loudon Wainwright.
Got a lot of sauce dripping out the corners. Your spaghetti mouth.
I want to put a noodle in you. That's the chorus.
Here comes a meatball.
They do kiss, which I was pretty surprised for the 1980s that they allowed a white guy to kiss a Japanese woman. I was thrilled, but I just did not see this coming. I thought we were going to get
don't worry, dude, because literally the wrath of Mother Nature rains down on this, because as soon as they start kissing, it's like the fucking bell goes off and it's like, oh my God, a storm's coming.
Yeah, God hates this.
Something unnatural is happening.
It is ridiculous, dude. He is fucking cucked by Mother Nature.
And yeah, so this is the big storm sequence. And it kind of like, they're running. And this is all you need to know about Daniel LaRusso and why you should never deal with this guy. They're in the middle of a hurricane. Miyagi is getting him into a shelter, and he has to stop. Like, oh, jeez, Mr. Miyagi, can you believe all this wind? And I'm like, it's a fucking hurricane, kid. Just shut up. Just shut your dumb mouth for 2 seconds.
Gee, Mr. Miyagi, do you see how I had a tea ceremony? Just go in there before I kill you myself.
And so like they are hiding in this, bunker. The whole town is in this bunker. I think these structures actually have some name to them that I can't recall. But like LaRusso says something to him about like, oh, Mr. Miyagi, you even have these in your town? I'm not going to think of it. But like they're in like storm shelter, bunkery things. Probably also like remnants from the war, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like some sort of like bomb shelter situation maybe. But this whole thing is going on, and then like they see this old woman carrying a child who's still left outside. And this is like, this bunker is packed with people, right? Only the 4 characters that we're following go out to help this lady. Like, you need at least like one extra or something. Like, the whole town is hiding in here.
There's a lot of
only our 4 heroes.
Her family is in there, ignoring her.
There's a lot of able-bodied men I'm seeing in there that are just like kind of hanging out.
Absolutely, it's ridiculous. And so like, well, they save the lady and the baby and everything, and then a house collapses, and I guess they realized that was the house. Like Sato was in there preparing for the fight, and they're like, "Holy fuck, that house just collapsed on him."
And
then Chosen comes out, right? And he's like, "No, he's dead. Let's move on."
He's fucking dead. He's fucking dead. Definitely don't check or anything. He's definitely dead.
It's over for Sato. I inherit everything, by the way.
Exactly.
Real quick.
Yeah, it seems like I'm fearless, but I'm actually deadly scared of rain.
And they go in and check, and he's just under a beam, and
he's like fine.
Yeah, he's totally fine. He's
breathing.
talking.
He's just like he's stuck with there's like a beam over his chest and he can't get out, but like he's totally alive. Like this dude, Chozen did not fucking check 1 second for this guy.
Well, it looks like there would be. I mean, it's raining, so this would happen. But like, there's like he would be crushed if something moved, I guess.
Sure.
But like, yeah, who cares?
So,
but like, wouldn't you rather die than have what happens happen? You're fucking this death feud you're about to have is interrupted with you almost dying, and the guy that you wanted to kill more than anything in your life saving you once again.
Yeah.
Well, dude, the fucking best part of this though is like so this beam is on him, and Miyagi and Daniels are trying to like get it off of him, and then Miyagi gets up on top and he's like raising his hand up, and Sato is like,
Oh yeah, of course. This is exactly what's going to happen. The coward's now going to kill me while a big beam is stuck on me. And then Miyagi, man, just fucking punches this thing in half and saves his old friend. And he even has the line like, "Come on, let me get you up, old friend," or something like that. And I'm like, man, Sato thinking that this guy was going to fucking murder him while he was pinned down under a beam.
Get your fucking hand out of my face. Don't you give me your hand, you piece of shit.
There is a great. So then, like, there's a little girl up on a power line for some reason.
Well, this was the bell.
Well, this was the bell
alarm.
tower.
Oh, okay.
The power lines get pushed onto it. Daniel LaRusso running up there to save her. Amazing bit here, kind of like a Army of Darkness scene of him taking off this belt and using it as a whip
Yes.
to literally belt away these power lines.
And then
And we should mention that Chozen has refused to go help this girl
well, because he's like
and help LaRusso.
Yeah, I'm good.
well, because meanwhile the sequence of events is he goes inside. Then there's some other lady that falls in the mud. Sato helps them out, and then he's like, "All right, now it's your turn. We're all listen. We're doing this thing now. We're helping everybody out. We're turning into good guys here, Chozen. You don't want to get on the good guy train. You're not going to get on the good guy train with me.
I'm scared to death of rain. I can't do it.
I know it's like,
I'm made of salt, you know.
Rain killed my pappy.
I am curious about the family structure here. What now? Like it's the nephew. What's the rest of Sato's family?
Well, I mean, I think the other thing is, doesn't Sato also make some mention of he too never married? So you
Yes.
just have all these like weird, miserable single people in this village.
Oh my god, is Sato an incel?
Yes.
oh, possibly.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
No. He's way too successful to be.
Well, he's
an
also got an
This-
escort service too, as we
That's
understand.
true.
I guess
So-
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so
his
yeah.
whole
Right.
his whole vibe is what Zero Pussy does to a motherfucker, though.
That's absolutely true.
That is indeed his whole vibe. You are correct. I love the little bell tower girl though, because the thing I thought of immediately, because she's like hanging from this thing, like, why won't somebody help me? All I could think about was that fucking stellar Simpsons gag where the little girl's on the rings and she's like, Mrs. Pommelhorse,
yes.
I'd like to get down, please. The fucking town just leaves this poor girl out to dry, and she is the one that notified everybody that the storm was coming. Selfish people.
Did you ever see The Wizard of Oz? You melt if you go into the rain.
I read that short story about those salt people that time. Stuck in
It
my
is
brain.
kind of hilarious. The girl that Sato, like, it's the bell girl. Sato winds up being the ultimate savior because LaRusso keeps slipping in the mud,
That's right.
and there's no like, he's not crawling up a hill. Okay, there's nothing really crazy going on. It's just Daniel LaRusso can't stand on his own 2 feet for whatever reason. Didn't really make sense to me.
And so the next day, they're trying to rebuild the town, and here comes Sato with all these construction guys to help rebuild the town. And he's like, listen, Miyagi, I got egg all on my face here. This blood feud I've been harboring for about 40 years seems to have been a bad idea. My doctor's been telling me I got to get rid of it. I got to get rid of that and the red meat and the cigarettes for sure. But I'll start with the blood feud and we'll see about the cigarettes.
I'm not going to tell him, though. I don't want to upset him. He's already prescribed me all these great antacids. But I already got another blood feud going because I hate my nephew's rotten guts. Like, that's the fucking great Sato line at the end of that. It goes up to Chozen in the little, bunker or whatever. And he's just like, yeah, now to you, I am dead. Which is just stellar.
Tape recorder click. New family idea. Abandoning your nephew.
Italian kid could be new nephew? ? Revisit.
Get better, baby.
And he also says that like the dance can happen at the castle now and forever. Everyone's so
Right.
fucking happy. It's kind of like Ewok Village vibes at the end of Return of the
Yes.
Jedi here.
Yeah, very each up a nub nub.
Did everybody, because they cut to this like castle set and there's a shit ton of people, here for the dance and the ceremony and everything. Did you guys catch this extra, like right at the front, like bottom of the frame as they go into this place?
I don't think so.
There is a guy there is a guy that looks exactly like David Cross as Tobias Funke.
Oh.
And I was like, did like Mitch Hurwitz and those guys, like when they were coming up with that show, were they like, we want to make David Cross look exactly like that character? Like they loved Karate Kid 2 so much, they were like, that extra has always been hilarious to us. Let's, write one of our characters. It's like, it's terrifying how much it looks exactly like Tobias. I couldn't get over it. I had to rewind.
I mean, Sato does strike me as a never nude.
So we're all
that would be
dancing, we're
fucking
having a
great.
great time. Even Sato's getting on the act. There's like booze being passed around. And you're like, oh, cool, it's the end of the movie. Here comes Chozen dressed like motherfucking Scorpion, rappelling into this dance, ready to kill, and it rules.
Hey there, get over here.
He runs in like a maniac.
Yes. No, he repels it. He literally swoops in like a fucking pirate.
Yes,
Oh, is it a
yes.
swoop?
It's a swoop.
I missed the swoop.
He flies down the line.
Yes.
Oh my
There's,
god,
like,
that's
lights
great. I'm
and
gonna have to go
stuff.
back now. I totally don't remember that.
Yeah.
And
It's a good
Oh,
moment.
it's fucking awesome.
there's this weird thing where like Kumiko's doing a separate dance away from everybody. He grabs her and chokes her, and he's like, I will, I'll kill her unless I fight LaRusso, basically. And there's like
He's got a knife to her throat.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a knife to her throat, and there's a bridge and a platform. So basically, they now removed the bridge, so it's just Chozen, Kumiko, and LaRusso on this platform. And I'm like, wowza, where did this movie come from? I like it, but where did this movie come from?
It's crazy because the movie lulls you into this expectation of like, okay, this movie, it's completely different from the
Yes.
first one. Like, clearly we're focusing on karate in a little bit of a different way, right? And so you're not expecting like the big blowout fight, but now it's like a big blowout fight on the set of a Mortal Kombat level. I mean,
Yeah.
this bridge falling down, this is insanity.
It really feels like the movie ended, and now they're like, well, there wasn't any real big karate fight. Put a karate fight in the end.
Yeah, we
Well,
gotta.
yeah.
And it's been Mr. Miyagi's show for a while. Let's have a big LaRusso scene here.
There's a
Right.
good moment with Miyagi, like, all right, kid, you usually play for little trophies. This is playing for keeps, okay? This is a street fight. This is a real deal.
You put him in the ground, and he's going to put you in the ground. That's the deal here, kid.
This-
And guess what? It's totally legal.
Yeah, and this is how the sequel heightens it, like the last one, what was the real danger there? Pride. And here it's like, you're going to fucking die.
I would love it if somehow that referee just showed up. You know what I mean? Like he was in town. He's got like all this popcorn. He's like, oh fuck!
He comes in like Fan Man.
It would be awesome, dude. They're about to like start fighting, and then like a car horn goes off, and it's this dude like getting out of a cab, like running down to the platform, like, oh my god, I didn't think I was gonna make it in time for the final fight. Oh, good thing I wore my referee shirt on the plane.
Didn't want to change a referee shirt.
This guy just is starting like a library of like LaRusso tapes, like the Grateful Dead live tapes.
Definitely.
And he's just got, and this is like the really rare one.
sick boots, dude.
LaRusso in Japan, in Okinawa. It's the rarest of them all.
Oh, you're
Oh my god, did you guys see LaRusso 86 at the Okinawa Coliseum? Oh my god, the fight that night was unforgettable.
yeah,
They were
man.
on fire.
He fought Chosen, and that guy, man, he didn't know what karate was all about.
Nothing,
He
nothing,
did not. No, he didn't.
nothing beats LaRusso at the Reno Punchapalooza 1989. It was just, you had to be there. You really had to be
I gotta say, LaRusso at his sister's wedding in '93. I'll leave it at that. You gotta watch the tape. It's amazing. It's fucking
It was
amazing.
fucking wild.
Given he only hospitalizes 3 people in that video, but you take what you can get.
Whatever. So it's the big fight. Basically Miyagi realizes the only thing he's sort of taught Daniel is the drum technique. I guess it's the drum technique ?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because that's the whole dodging thing. It's kind of based on the little drum instrument. And at one point in the movie, Daniel's like, does the drum have a punch? And he's like, ask the fucking drum, kid.
Yeah. But so then we're doing the drum thing. Who would have guessed a guy that actually knows karate fucking blocked the bullshit crane kick, the quote unquote unblockable move.
Yep. I think you can even see some people in the crowd laughing at that. They were like, that fucking kid tried that thing? That thing that like is one of the biggest jokes of all time. That kid just did that seriously in a fight? Fuck this.
That's
kid.
like
Yeah.
a baby move.
It is great to see it tossed aside like that. You know, this is the sequel.
Yep.
It's bigger. It's more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, it's like Luke Skywalker fucking tossing the lightsaber at the start of the Last
But
Jedi.
the problem with that is that the villain you've made Chozen into, like, he needs to fall into a volcano at the end of this.
Yes, you're
Like,
totally right.
this is too much. You've gone too far.
Also, again, if he's this maniacal and crazy and swooping in and all of this stuff, I need the quick 2-second scene of him in the car fucking tooting some shit off of his hand really quick
Mhm.
and then running in there like a maniac.
Yeah, at least give me him like popping a pill or two. That's all I need.
And you know, they do the drum thing. He realizes now that he knows how to punch all of a sudden, and he like punches him a bunch.
Yeah. I think
Not-
this is the drum punch because he's like
Yes.
moving back and forth.
Yes.
And for some reason, Chozen cannot block these punches. My God, he could not.
Well,
He
it's a combo.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's the weird. I think like he can't block those because he's getting punched like right after he's trying to punch Ralph Macchio. Like that's why this move I think is supposed to be so great. But like Chozen should know what's going on and just like step back a little bit. But he keeps falling for it. Like fool me once, you know, Karate Kid, okay, but like this dude keeps trying to swing at him. It's ridiculous.
I gotta say, it is funny that you move from like your original training is like actual like adult things, like washing the car, building like a house, like fences, stuff like that. And your whole training here is play with this toy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, do this baby shit for a little bit. Yeah, just do the baby shit and then almost get stabbed by something. You'll be able to beat the day.
We should point out though, before he, you know, Miyagi holds up the drum and clues him into like this is what you got to do. LaRusso is getting the shit
He
kicked out of
is,
him in this
yeah.
fight. It's kind of
It's
great.
painful.
I mean, you spend so much of the movie being frustrated with him. It's cathartic. Seeing getting his ass.
It
handed
very
to
much
him.
is. And I always thought, like, I always remembered, I haven't seen this movie in a long, long time. And I always remembered this sequence being like a huge part of the movie. It's not, but
No.
I thought it was like 20 minutes.
I
but
agree.
It's not.
It's barely 5.
Again, I grew up with this movie. I would have thought, yeah, this is like the last hour of the movie is this sequence. It's like exactly like it's Chozen swoops in and there's 3 minutes left. He punches this lady, beats the shit out of LaRusso, and LaRusso wins, and the movie is over. He knocks him down, and the best line I think of the entire trilogy: "Live or die, man, live or die."
Yeah, dude.
I choose death.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, just fucking do it. Do it.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, go ahead and murder him.
Honestly, I don't want to give him a ride home, but after this whole display, it's just too much.
I mean, it is great though because he responds with "die."
Yes, he wants to die.
And LaRusso's like, "Wrong, honk."
Tape recorder click. New crime idea. Make Chozen do ice breaking gambling for me. Click.
New crime idea.
And that's the movie,
Uh,
folks. It's a
that's
it.
honk honk, a big smile. I think, did you get a thumbs up? Maybe.
Because the first movie ends with like the Miyagi, you know, freeze frame. I think it is right.
Yes.
This is like Miyagi again, like looking like good job, LaRusso, and it just fades to black. Like there has to be
A big kiss.
something here about like the big kiss, but then we need this story, such as it is, needs a little bit of an epilogue because you have all of the family stuff, and also what gets totally dropped is the part where Yuki, like Miyagi's like, "Look, I'm fucking taking off," and she's like, he says, "How can I make you, you know, feel better or whatever?" And she goes, "Will you take me to America?"
Yes.
And so like Miyagi has agreed
Sure, baby.
to take her to America. And then also LaRusso has encouraged Kumiko to also come to America to pursue her dancing.
Well, instead, it's more. I think LaRusso is more like, oh, geez, I kind of think Elizabeth Shue might take me back. I just think that it could happen. You don't know.
I mean, there's so many more things left hanging here. Because like that first movie is like, he's just got to win the fucking All Valley. Oh, he did it? Okay, well then that's it. That's the movie. But there's just so much more left, and it's like, fade to black. Not going to address any of that. You guys catch the greatest part of the credits, which is right at the beginning?
No.
Before like any other parts of the scroll happens, you just get returning as the Cobras.
Yes,
It just lists all the dudes.
Like they're a band.
Man,
it's great.
Great. Yes, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, like Steve said, that is indeed the movie. Would anybody recommend this motion picture? We'll start with you, Steve.
I would. I think it's my least favorite of the three, honestly, even though like probably it's got some emotional impact here. It's a bit slow, or it's a lot slow. I prefer my Macchios in the All Valley tournament, and I just think that like a lot of the Japanese stuff, there's a line when Macchio's like, oh geez, man, I can't believe 15,000 American GIs died here, and Miyagi's got to be like, yeah, and 150,000 Japanese. He's like, well, I guess we're even. It's just like a lot of this movie is just like bonkers with the politics, et cetera, et cetera. It's a recommend because there's a lot here to chew on, but it's my least favorite of the OG trilogy.
Eric Siska.
Man, it's a recommend. I do enjoy it, but the blood feud I think could have been, like you were saying, Steve, about the politics of this film. Like maybe it's because he fucking went to America and fought for the other side.
Yeah, you never know.
But it is a recommend for me. I think I like the first one better. I don't know if I would rate the third one over this, but Terry Silver is excellent. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. Check out our old episode on part 3. I kind of dig that it's a little bit of like a travel log kind of thing. Might have been better if they actually went to Japan instead of Hawaii, but it's interesting.
Hey, again,
it's
blame
new.
Columbia Pictures, man.
I do. I blame them every day. So yes, it's an enthusiastic recommend for me.
Chris Cabin.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's I would say the third one is probably the most entertaining. Like it's the one that if I'm just enjoying myself, because like I didn't grow up with these movies, so I don't have a special place in my heart for any of them. But
yeah,
I would say that's the most entertaining. This one, at least, though, I see the remnants of what would have been a good movie.
Yeah,
like the hull of it is there. Like the first hour is building towards it, but inevitably it has to be a stupid fucking Daniel LaRusso movie. So inevitably at the end when he comes in, it just ruins it a bit for me. But still, I think it's shot pretty well. I like a lot of the stuff with Miyagi. Pat Morita is very good in this. I recommend.
It's a strong recommend for me, and I have to say, I mean, one, Chris, I'm sort of in your camp. I didn't grow up with these movies. I did see them when I was younger, but not like repeatedly or anything. So I don't have a super strong like nostalgia bent for any of them. But for me, this time around, because so that was like what, November of 2019 we were in LA. So that's like the last time I watched Karate Kid. Like this one it played better for me. I think one, because like the pop culture zeitgeist for this franchise is so heavily rooted in the first movie, and I've just always found like some of the obsessiveness over it like a little bit of a turnoff. But it's interesting to me that nobody really talks about this movie too much, especially in the way that they talk about the first one.
Yep.
And for me, again, it is hard to dodge. Yes, you're watching a movie called Karate Kid Part 2, so indeed the titular Karate Kid has to be around. But for me, at least this time around watching this movie, I have not seen this one in, I could not even tell you, but Pat Morita's performance, man, I was so knocked on my ass by it. It is almost like he's in a different movie. Like that's how much I felt he did such a great job here, and like wish he got a nom and a win for this one, man, in the the Oscars the next year. I just thought he was so goddamn good. Yeah, it would have been better if we got some cultural things more accurate, and if we could indeed shoot in Okinawa, that would be cool. They did shoot this in Hawaii. I want to say it was on Oahu, if I remember what I was reading right.
I think it is.
Maybe,
yeah.
Is that right? So it's still like pretty. Hawaii's gorgeous and everything. Yeah, but it is just the ultimate elephant in the room, which is like Daniel LaRusso as a young kid will ruin anything. I would have not had patience for this child. It makes Mr. Miyagi even more of a hero in my eyes that he didn't murder this kid by the end of the first movie. But yeah, total recommend. I feel like I'm fucking vomiting words here, but yeah, total recommend for me as well. And that is going to do it for The Karate Kid Part 2, directed by the late, great John Avildsen. If you do want more We Hate Movies, of course, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies. And speaking of which, we have a very important, very exciting update about what is going on the WHM Patreon. Steve Sadak, take us away.
We're doing it, folks. You've asked for it. We've been teasing it for a long time. Melrose 2.0 is back. It's got its own tier. It is the new. It's a $10 tier. You will get a Nexus-style show of Melrose 2.0. That's once a month. You will get a mashup, half of an episode. A recap of an episode of 90210 and then a recap of Melrose Place. But that's not all you get. The $8 tier was bursting. Anything else we put on Patreon that is new will go on this $10 tier, including, if I may tease something.
Oh, tease it, dude. I'm already edging.
That is new shows, like old, like Mandalorian half hours still stay at the $8 tier. Commentaries will still stay at the $8 tier.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, all those things stay the same. The $5 tier stays the same. All that stuff stays the same. But anything new that we put on will be on this $10 tier, including the Snyder Cut. I don't even know what it is yet because this thing isn't even out yet. But however we decide to review the Snyder Cut, if it's in episodes or if it's one big old episode, I have no idea. This 4-hour monstrosity that is supposedly coming out next month will be on our Patreon tier on the what we're calling the Walsh, the $10 tier. We got a lot of other exciting ideas coming up later in the year. Some the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, whenever that comes out, that's going to be on that $10 tier. Recaps there.
Yes, we can confirm we will be recapping the Obi-Wan show. I've seen a lot of people asking us on social media, like, what of this new landslide of Disney Plus content and so on we're going to be covering. Obviously, it's not going to be all of it, but we will be doing an all-new sideshow all about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Hell yeah.
And a lot more other stuff. So just check that out. If you liked Melrose 2.0, if you're interested in the Snyder Cut, if you're interested in giving us $2 more, check out the $10 tier. We'd really appreciate it.
Yes. And also, just quickly announce here, because this is it's February, right? Yeah,
it is.
I don't even know what time it is anymore. Gremlins, the new batch, the Gremlins 2, rather, the new batch will be our Patreon exclusive episode of the $5 tier.
Yes. Exactly. All sorts of new content for all those tiers. To check out, we're doing another Nexus, obviously, this month. We're doing an Animation Damnation, TBD there,
yeah, let's tease out. What are we doing on the old Gleep glossary?
Oh, that's currently TBD.
Oh, all right. Oh, fair enough. Well, you know what? Whatever Star Trek episodes we left off on in January, we'll be doing the next ones coming up in February.
Actually, those are also TBD. It's a weird month.
No. But listen, they're all happening. But you should take away from this conversation is that we are focused on making Melrose the best experience for you on that $10 tier right now.
Absolutely.
When we launched it over the summer, just as like a quarantine, what are we going to do about this? It was a lot of fun. And as much as folks say like, oh, this, that, and the other thing you did help me get through whatever, distracted me through whatever, guess what? It's the same for us, that we get to make this stuff for you. It is a nice distraction in these still indeed currently hard times. And then, speaking of feeds, back on the free feed, as always here on We Hate Movies, next Tuesday, there will indeed be a brand new episode. Steve Sadak, once again, I'm going over to you, our programming master. What are we talking about next week?
P.S. I love you.
Oh, God, here we go. The I'm dead fucking, what am I trying to say, Easter egg hunt movie that she's got to go on here, this Hillary Swank.
I'm a ghost and I want to marry you.
I left you a bunch of clues to find out how much you love me. I don't think he appears as a ghost in that movie, and that really, it probably would have taken it over the top, right? It's like, you have to do this treasure hunt, and I'm a ghost helping you.
You're getting warmer.
So until next week with P.S. I love you, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Gavin.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.